you so much. And today, allow me to speak a little Creole as best as I can because we've been soaps.
But before you do though, the flood.
Yes, the flood mitigation project.
Yes, so that we know we had a lot of heavy rains last week.
Yes.
And compared to the time where there was not so much work in terms of flood mitigation, how did the water,
it receded
okay.
the moment the rain stopped.
Wow.
Which shows significant improvement, which actually shows the heart of the rep. Because whenever it rains heavily in Dennery, only if he is not on island, you would find Edmund Esifan right there in the water with everybody else. If it's at night, he would leave his home. Sometimes at 3 in the morning, if the rain is a bit much, because he's unable to sleep.
Right, but well, that's exactly what people need from the leader.
Yes.
You know, your presence in the community, that you showing your face. Come out.
It is felt. And even as you speak on leadership, our rep has continued to exhibit leadership, in my point of view, in the perfect and best form. For example, in opposition, we have a Rocky Lane / Green Mountain road.
We have a Rocky Lane down in Beaufort.
Oh, nice.
As well.
And the road extends all the way to the top. And he ensured that he got the road done for the people of Green Mountain / Rocky Lane. In opposition, he had no power, yet still he was a leader.
In opposition?
Yes, in opposition. And that road was needed because now that area is a small community.
So Diana, what you're telling me is that even though you are in opposition, you could still lead and lead successfully.
Because what I'm even saying is you don't necessarily need power to lead.
Indeed.
You need spirit, you need drive, you need purpose.
Well, the chorus being sung in Beaufort North is that I'm in opposition. And it has been sung for more years than I can remember. That all the excuse is always, I'm in opposition. And even though, you know, they get themselves elected, and when I say they get themselves elected, when St. Lucians give the Labour Party a chance, you know, to form the government, you know, it feels, it looks as if they're still in opposition. So I'm pretty much, you know, very surprised that you say
Esther is a perfect example.
In opposition,
even in opposition,
yes,
he remained a leader
to work within your community.
Yes, because he's a well-bred and born worker.
Here's my question: is there anything terribly hard about being in opposition and working, you know, in the interest of your people or your constituents?
By the example of Honorable Edmund Esifan, I would not think so.
All right. So what is it doing? What is it doing that is so difficult for other leaders who are in opposition? Well, let me call them so-called leaders. And I'd like to welcome those on GVD TV, just tuning in to our program South of the Island. Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate your presence. Hopefully you can participate as well. I think there is the feed on Facebook, so if you want to write a comment, you can also do that there. So what is the formula, Diana, that the Honorable Esifan is using so effectively when he's in opposition? Perhaps others who are in opposition need to hear that. So I mean, I do not want to give them, obviously, you know, any advantage.
Right.
But tell St. Lucians, what is it that the Honorable Esifan is using that is good, that is working, you know,
it is that simple. It is that simple. He uses his heart.
All right.
Because his heart is buried in Dennery. And his heart is for the people of Dennery. So even in opposition, he used the strength and inspiration of his heart to work for the people of Dennery. And I must say that this project was not the only one that he was able to get accomplished while in opposition. He continued to work in opposition, which is why we are going to continue to put him there as our parliamentary rep.
Well said, well said. Well, I can tell you what, Beaufort North, you need to also consider what my good friend and co-host have just mentioned there to you, that you have the capabilities. You can be a leader even in opposition.
You do not necessarily need power to
That's
lead.
correct. So the excuse that people have been in opposition and they tell you they're in opposition and they cannot do anything is just a sham. Nothing but, you know, their way of just continuing to earn their salary without doing anything. I'm saying to you that you need to hold our leaders accountable. And they are not up for the job. you need to get somebody else who is able to do it for you, and to do it on your behalf. And that is Vincent London.
Indeed.
Absolutely. So you have soaps, you said?
Oh, yes. Oh.
Is it soap to wash dirty laundry?
No. We have a juicy soaps from Dennery South.
Great vibe. Let's say it.
And I'm going to try my best to tap into the Creole.
Yeah.
Because it's rather sad to be, especially from the South, and you can't speak Creole. So I'm going to try my best. Yes, it is. So, story I say, afam, ebdenom, Dennery South say famla. So pour commettre, Dennery teni un homme qui te ka maltraité, fait comme bagay, il parte ça, wherever I feel like I'm not strong, I'm going to tap into the English, so please forgive me.
We speak with polyglots,
right?
We speak several languages.
With Dennery, when she noticed that she was not getting the love that she needed, the appreciation that she needed for being a very good woman, she decided to leave that man. I quitté nom là. Et puis ani 15 l'année, Dennery a quitté nom là. Mais là n'a bagay about Dennery as a femme, or femme Dennery. Dennery ni bon femme. Then we have sweet women. And the one thing about us that has us... The one thing about Dennery that has us to stand out is our women, the complement of our women. We have some good women in Dennery. And it can be somewhat of an advantage or a disadvantage, a plus and a minus at the same time, that it is rather difficult, I boast, for men to stay away from a Dennery woman. Après Dennery quitte nom ça là, yani 15 l'année. Nom là just pas qu'à quitter Dennery bat misère, il pas vle tan c'est quitter Dennery a quitter. So Dennery joine un plus bon homme. Dennery plus meilleur. She feels more loved and appreciated. And the message I want to send out with that soaps is that no matter how much this man tries to come back, sel bagay from Dennery le nou kite, nou pa ka viwe. I vini kon police, nou pa previwe. I vini kon teacher, nou pa previwe. Abweza? Non, kon de teacher, nou pa previwe. Abweza, isa fama. Nou pa vle. Nou pa kay previwe. Oui, I ka travay me pa red assez. So we are not convinced, and we will continue to stay with that one good man. And that tells a lot about Dennery. After we left the gentleman, we have remained faithful. So St. Lucia, Dennery has the most faithful, I boast, women on island. We're sweet, we're kind, we're faithful. So to this man who keeps making attempts to come back into the life of Dennery, we are completely done. We have improved significantly. Nou hakiteo, nou ni a lot nom, epsi lan we ep nou pa ka viwe.
So this whole idea of a woman's scorn is quite something that is very true.
Oh, it is. It is.
These men have scorned the heart of beautiful Dennery as a woman.
Funny thing is, Dennery has healed and healed nicely, and she has had the best man. Yes, she's doing good. She has moved, not moving on, because moving on is a process. Dennery has moved on
with her man,
with no return. So this is what you get from Dennery in terms of soaps. So soaps I say Dennery ten yo no me kite, me nom la pa vle tan Dennery pa vle vie. So Dennery kay muchwe yako. For what sec lani is still pa ka vie.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that people from Vieux Fort Neuf are hearing, they're hearing the soaps,
So my hope
that they yokakuti, lani pil yo kikakuti Vieux Fort Neuf, yokatan soap la bay la wizan la. C'est même qualité bagay ça nous.
Oui, Vieux Fort Neuf de pour quitter nom ça.
C'est l'année deux bagay yo di la vie qui pas bon. En vieille machine et puis en vieille mari et bien en vieille madame.
Oui.
On est pour quitter un homme ni en vieille machine.
Oui.
Ça va être 3 cas.
Oui.
Toutes les jours en bas bonnette.
And from Dennery, especially myself, I do not like trouble.
So, toutes les dans le garage ka gaspiller l'argent. Toutes les ka gaspiller temps.
Oui.
Un jour il mettez ça sur côté et qui gagne l'autre machine.
Foutez ça à la
Oui,
side.
c'est même manière là on est un vieux madame, et pas un vieux girlfriend, et pas un vieux boyfriend, un vieux moun à laver, on est pour quitter, on est pour mettre ça sur un side. On est pour jamber ça, quitter ça. Et qu'on a pour gouer. C'est même pas là nous qu'a dit fort non.
Oui.
C'est là pour jamber. C'est là pour monter l'autre.
C'est les pour tirer
Vous comprenez? Quand nous avons dit que step là, monter, c'est là pour monter l'autre étage building, là, et bâtiment, qu'on faut se cader. C'est là pour nous monter en l'autre façade. C'est là pour nous changer. Presque 50 l'année, où ça? Diana. Presque 50 l'année, nous n'y quartier, nom ça là, SLP.
À la vie,
dans la vie, nous, et plus nous souffrons, nous pas.
C'est plus la zone là.
Oui, nous ça y bois, pas rapporter yon yam descend, pas rapporter yon da Chine. C'est un ek monter dans bois.
Vieux-Fort North is blindly
laver
in
la
love.
main et que souiller en labou. C'est un ek monter dans bois, laver la main, souiller en terre encore. C'est vous fait bagarre la même manière encore et puis plus
l'amitié ça la douve derrière.
C'est accordé ou dans sec, ma savent se connaître sec. Sec c'est en bas là nous petit bout petit comprendre petit nom petit jeune garçon. Nous te ca rouler ça vie fort en commune. Nous te ca faire hectare nous te ca point sec sec fait sortant en rim vieille machine et nous te ca pousser sec tuer sec nous te fait bagaille basine coco pas connaître c'est ça c'est un jeune madame et c'est ça qui a fait nous fit bon sec là aller c'est rond sec là rond it's circular c'est même bagaille ça Vieux-Fort North c'est nous qui aller quand sec toute l'année
The circle of blind love
après l'année oui élection après élection c'est même bagaille nous qui fait Vieux-Fort North et qui ça les a dépassé les pour nous sortir en sexe là sorti de
quitter nom ça.
Ti quitter vieux nom ça la SLP. Quitter yo. Ils allaient pour nous acheter une relation nouveau, un bagage neuf. Vous comprenez? Sorti de où? Gardez ça l'autre nom ça ou ça joindre dans l'autre nom.
Because Vieux-Fort North is definitely deserving of a better love. And as for Dennery South, après 20 années, I hope nom ça la kay check quoi. 20 l'année, femme là juste pas qu'à vivre. Ou là toujours quitter femme là bat misère. Dennery South pas qu'à vivre. Depuis nous quitter. C'est ça.
Dennery South a maillé.
Oh, nous a maillé. Nous a bien maillé.
Il a fait bon.
Oui, bon la vie, bon riche, bon pauvre.
C'est ici là, nous avons parlé bon là, c'est the
field, the sports complex, the school complex, the improvements to the fire station, the polyclinic, the infrastructure, employment of young persons, small business champion. So much has been done through that new relationship. I just want persons to understand that at the end of the day, when you're in a community that has had representation, stellar representation for this long,
and my dear
persons,
friend, yes, my dear friend, this is exactly what we're looking for. This is the battle that we're fighting for in Vieux-Fort North. To get married to a gentleman who can bear, the two of you can bear beautiful children.
Yes.
You know, very smart children. So that we can have all of these playing field upgrades and these agricultural projects and these entrepreneurial enterprises and so on, you know, to cause our young folks to get the necessary scholarships, you know, to get them out there in terms of our culture, to make some economic activity out of our culture.
Because if you look at it,
this is what we're looking for in Vieux-Fort North.
Yes.
That's why you need to remove what is there, out with the old, and
in with the new.
Yes. A new man in your life. There's nothing. And Diana, you're a young woman, and you've had. Well, I have no idea, but I know for me, I've had, you know, beautiful relationships, and then I know how sweet it is when you have a wonderful relationship. You know, things are going nice and so on, and you can't wait for the work week to be over so that you could go and spend some time with your beautiful person.
So that you ease into that peace.
That is correct. You know,
that beautiful peace, the reward of that beautiful peace of that relationship.
The analogy we're trying to draw there, folks, is You cannot keep on doing the same things over and over and over
and you expect a different result. That is the definition of insanity.
Absolutely. So if you choose to elect the same district representative again,
there will be no effective change.
Absolutely none. You will be experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing now. Because you cannot teach an old dog new tricks.
Not at all.
It is written and it is so. So we're asking you to make the necessary choice this election in Vieux Fort North. And as I have laid it on the tables for you, you could go on my Facebook page, you could see it. Our faces will be covering each individual, every single person in Vieux Fort North. You fall under one of those tenets. FACES. What is Vincent London going to do with this? It is F for fisher folks and farmers, the A for agriculture, the C for culture, the E for e-commerce, entertainment, entrepreneurship, anything to do with E, and then the S for sports. So you fall under one of these things, one of those tenets, not things, I'm sorry to say, call it a thing, one of those tenets. You fall under one of that. And we will be developing from our agriculture to our sports complex to our culture. We're going to cause for our people in Vieux Fort North to get the necessary push to get them to get their own business, the enterprise, the entrepreneurial zeal that is there. I say and I declare that we don't have to wake up every day and go to work for somebody else, Diana.
We can needs to bear fruit from a better marriage.
That's correct. We can develop our own businesses. Why can't people come from elsewhere and come into our community, into our constituency to work for us? That is the kind of candidate that I will be. That is the kind of representative or representation that I will give to the people of Vieux Fort North. We have not been moved or pushed in that direction. Those who have represented us in Parliament before, they have failed to do so, and they will continue to fail to do that if the people of Vieux Fort North gives them they call it a chance. It's a chance they want, but you do not want a chance with your vote. You want to get an opportunity, and the person that's best suited and fit to give you that opportunity is Vincent London, because he knows. He's worked in certain sectors. He identifies with what is going on a national level. He understands it. And what am I speaking? The third person, as if I'm referring to somebody else. But the truth is, I have lived in Vieux Fort North, and some of them will tell you, boy, where was Vincent London? He has not been there. And I'm wondering, where have I been?
Where did you go?
Where have I been? Except to be working overseas on job assignments and stuff like that. I have been within the community. I've been there. I've been there and gone about the place and played my role and so on, both in the public and the private sector. As a matter of fact, when I left the public sector, I went into the private sector, and that was contributing to the most significant economic activity on the island. That was tourism. I was fooling planes, I was getting tourists in and out of this beautiful island paradise. That is why we were getting #1 honeymoon destination globally, over and over and over, because these thousands of people were coming into the island, and they were doing these via planes, not cars, not submarines. They were taking planes and yachts and boats and so on and so forth. So to ask where was Vincent London is really a misnomer. Just ridiculous things that some people are trying to latch on to anything that they can get just to complain and blame. So Diana, the relationship continues with your beautiful man in Dennery. And so we are looking for the same change in Vieux Fort North, where they will have a beautiful person who will represent them beautifully in Parliament.
In Dennery, persons who know me in Dennery know that I can sometimes be brutal to the opposite sex.
Oh, wow.
On a relationship stance, personally, if someone even rattles me the wrong way, your history. And I am a perfect example, born and bred, of what Dennery has continued to do with respect to that Vietnam that we got rid of.
Wow.
We remain faithful. We don't cheat. So I'm literally campaigning for Dennery women. All the young men who are looking for wives, Dennery has quite the complement of the quality woman, as shown and proven as per our elections and our choice of candidate. Yes, we have remained faithful. So, nom sala me savuka kuti, me savuka gade. Because Dennery, make it pima ti cause or Dennery. We are not going myself. And I know one of my dearest sweethearts is listening, Miss Eudosia. She's right there on the highway when you're heading to Vieux-Fort, selling the pork and the pudding and all the good stuff that I go to enjoy on a Saturday when I'm free.
Nice.
We all know the story of Dennery and that man. And I am categorically going to state that we are not going to return. We remain, we don't cheat. It's not like we had some sense of distraction where we say, oh, we're going to forgive. We don't forgive.
Got you.
And that is a quality of mine when it comes to I do not forgive. I forget, but I do not forgive. So I'm a prime example of my community and our political choice and our political quality.
You don't forgive?
I do not.
I am getting pretty scared now.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I'm a prime example of Dennery. Although I do not forgive.
But I believe in forgiveness though.
I do too, to a certain extent. But I must say, with respect to Dennery, we have remained faithful. We have not cheated once over the past 15 years, and it will be 20 years that we have remained faithful, having gotten rid of that man.
All right, so let's just segue into this a little bit there. In terms of forgiveness, as a Christian, it's something that we all should do, and I can tell you, because it frees the heart. You know,
the moment I forget I'm free.
No, no, but probably when you see this person again, you know, certain chemical reaction happens in your body, and then so your heart, your blood
There's
pressure,
nothing. Blank.
You know, okay, that's interesting. But I believe in forgiveness, honestly. There's nothing better. Well, there are tons of other better things, but you feel great when you have forgiven somebody that has done something.
I understand that. I understand that.
Atrocious.
I feel, to me, forgiveness in itself is work. I am a worker, but work of that sort is a bit much for me, so I allow God to deal with it. I forget it and allow God to deal with it.
Especially now, Diana, I think this is a time where we have to go out of our way to forgive. Because people take this political thing to the extent that there's a lot of hate and anger and angst going on even within families, husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, girlfriend, boyfriend.
I understand
nieces,
that.
nephews, neighbors, strangers, and so on. There, because for example, when we were coming up and then I stopped to refuel the car, and I had my proud yellow shirt. Yes, those of you on GVD TV watching right there. Where's my UWP logo? Right, I had my yellow shirt. Okay,
right,
so it's
there.
It's right there. I had my nice UWP logo on my proud yellow shirt. Making me look look as yellow as possible.
Right.
That when I saw this other this individual coming through, as she approached the gas station, she was kind of looking at me. And I said, hey, hi, how are you doing? Good afternoon, as I always do, regardless of where you are, who you are, and so on. I don't know you probably, but I will still say hello and good afternoon to you. And then, she hesitated to answer, but I said, hello. And then she said, but then she passed, but I turned, to see what, because I know the body language and so on. And then she turned and looked and then said something to some other person. I'm just wearing a t-shirt. You wear your red and so on, and you're proud of it. So let me wear my yellow as well, and I'm very proud of my yellow. Just that, Diana. So you had to constantly be aware that you ought to forgive people, because people will hate for no reason except that you contesting an election.
I do forgive,
or you supporting the United Workers' Party.
I do forgive, but attempting to shy away from being a bit too personal. When it comes to men, I forget. You forget? I forgive people.
Yeah. I don't hold anyone. Honestly,
I forget.
I don't hold anyone. If I had to do that, my goodness. If it would translate, if it would have translated to money in the bank, then yes, I'd probably do that. But then, I have, maybe in the past, I have held people, and trying to not forget or not forgive what they did. But when I go to the bank and I check my account, you know, it didn't add a cent.
Well,
you know, so I am always then. I am always comparing unforgiveness to money in the bank. And if it doesn't shift my account to any extent, then it's not worth it.
Well, allow me to counter that in a political regard.
Sure.
If it were to translate to money in the bank, as per Dennery and forgiveness of a man, we surely have more money in the bank having left and not forgiven that man.
Wow.
Because we are far better off in terms of our lifestyles, our livelihoods, our bank accounts are significantly
I understand,
better.
but he needs to be forgiven.
Oh, are you saying we need to forgive that red man?
Yes,
no.
absolutely. You know, because you know,
should we decide to forgive this red man, he may have the opportunity to creep up on us. And somewhat, being as sly as they are known to be, somewhat creep back into our lives. So we remain unforgiving.
Okay, so here is where you have to be an expert. When you forgive someone, once bitten, twice shy. I think you said it a while ago. And so you could fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. And so if you know that this is the character of this this person and so on, this man,
this red man,
yes, then you need to be aware that this is likely to come back. You cannot change the spot.
Which is why we do not let our guard down in the life.
That's right. But then, you know, hey, come on, if the man comes around and so on and so forth, I hope that you all are not so angry with this red man.
In Dennery,
you don't even say hello or hi and stuff like that.
We are quite pleasant in Dennery.
Excellent.
Where we are not as pleasant and we're not necessarily friendly is in the ballot boxes. We're ferocious in the ballot. We're lions in the ballot boxes.
I think we all should be. We all should be very, you know, we should be very guarded when it comes.
Because we need to give credence to our title as the Lions Den.
Absolutely.
So we do all of that in the ballot boxes.
There I will agree with you that you have to be extremely careful and you know you have to be like.
Which is the reference I've been trying to make with respect to forgiveness and that man, because in Dennery. No paca poinam salavier.
That's what we need to. That's what we need to do in Vieux Fort Neuf, is to throw out, you know, this man called SLP. You know, throw that person out. Throw that party out completely, and bringing a new man, start a new relationship, because this new man is going to bring you the roses that you deserve.
Connection.
That's right. You know, you need to change your wardrobe.
Build a new bond.
This new man have the capability, you know, the know-how to take you to this tailor or seamstress to get you a new wardrobe.
And not only to take care of yourself, because there is this silly notion that you need a man to care for you. This man is there to help you to care for yourself.
Absolutely.
And this is what has happened in Dennery South. We have engaged in a new relationship that has had us to be a bit more self-sustainable, a bit more self-efficient, as opposed to being codependent. This nonsense, excuse me, of always having to be dependent on, because I realize with the other side, this is the mentality.
That's the trait of the Labour Party.
And that is terrible if you ask me, especially for young people.
That's correct. But can you imagine they telling the government, hey, look, you know, take the money for the projects and give it to the people. You know, sorry to be making this kind of funny face on TV. But you see, that is what they do. So if this government didn't have its head screwed properly on its shoulders, it would have acceded to this nonsense and take the money and give it to the people.
Our development would not be as significant as it is.
So they're creating the dependency syndrome, a society that depends on the government for every single thing. And so once that money that they would have given to the people run out, then the people would come back and ask again, you know, we need more. And so it would almost be like a kind of an addict, somebody who is on drugs, you know, depending on that drug over and over for a high. So this government is saying, no, this is not what's going to happen. This government is showing you how to fish, as opposed to giving you a fish every day.
Single time
you need to learn to fish. And that's why the Ojo Labs are there and the ITELs are there. And that's why the Hirano International Airport is being built. You know, and that's why the Cabot Resorts and the honeymoon beaches are being built. And that is why the road constructions are going on. It's empowering, it's employing people. And that is why you see all of what is going to be implemented will be done. More to come, good things to come. You know, that is what this government is creating. A new St. Lucia.
Indeed.
Not frivolous ideas, smart city. Have you thought about the smart city that they're going to create?
I will respond shortly, but if you allow me, as for taking the money and giving it to the people, consider that we are facing a pandemic.
Indeed.
Should the Prime Minister and his cabinet and his team have taken the money and given it to the people, let me tell you what would not have happened in terms of a COVID response. Had he chosen to take the money and given it to the people, this is what would not have happened. We would have not operationalized the OKEU hospital. We would have not converted the Victoria Hospital into a respiratory hospital specific to COVID-19. We would not have been able to purchase equipment to create capacity for in-country testing. We would not have been able to recruit 113 Cuban medical professionals to help with our fight. We would definitely not have been able to deliver over 10,000 food and care packages to the most vulnerable.
Well said.
We would not have been able to launch a feeding program, which I proudly was a part of, and to get thousands of hot meals to the elderly and differently able. We would not have been able in April of 2020, last year, to launch a social stabilization plan to help persons who have completely lost their income and the more vulnerable. We would definitely not have been able to have income support provided by the NIC to the tune of over $70 million. And would not have been able to provide to non-NIC contributors in the amount of $8 million. Also, we would not have been able to start the early Christmas barrels program and further extension until March of 2021. And definitely in July of 2020, we would not have been able to launch the economic recovery and resilience program. So had we taken the money, the St. Lucia Labour Party, and given it to the people in a COVID-19 pandemic time, era, age, whatever you call it, where would we have been?
Well, in the smart city.
In the smart city?
Yes, calling for money.
That is funny to me.
From the sky. Yes.
Excuse me for being this passionate, but you have to understand this whole codependency mentality that I have a significant issue with. You do not allow persons to believe that, hey, I vote for you, so I'm going to depend on you for everything that I need in my life.
That is the modus operandi.
You vote for a party. For me, basically, I would vote for a party to be able to give me the step up, to be self-sufficient, so that I can provide for myself. Even in relationships, if I'm not able at the time, and we're in a relationship, and you decide to help me, you're not going to help me to continue helping me. You're going to help me so that I can be able to help myself.
Yes, Diana, you're on fire this afternoon. I'm telling you, you're on fire, and this is said
I'm not sure. Maybe it's the KFC I had earlier.
Beautiful. Well, what did you have? One of the hot spicy
yes,
and so on?
I had a spicy
But you're on
twist.
fire. You are hitting the nail on its head this afternoon, squarely on its head. And what you've mentioned there makes absolute sense. And you know, we need to remind them of all these wonderful things that this government is doing, as opposed to taking the money and just giving it to the people. You know, they said that the government did nothing in terms of helping, you know, in terms of the financial assistance and so on. But then they did. They raised, or they took millions of dollars from the NIC.
Just imagine that you were not an NIC
contributor, and you got money.
And you got money.
Yes. So where did you put I hope they saved that money.
I'm not sure if persons who process this negatively, they may have taken their sense of common sense or sense and placed it on the shelf.
Right, but it's on top of the hour.
Or placed it in the freezer.
It's on top of the hour, and you'll get back to that discussion. On top of the hour is already 3 minutes after 2, and that's when we open our phone lines. It's 4560931, 4560931. Yes, we are survivors, the UWP, indeed.
We survive and we thrive with the United Workers Party.
Absolutely. So 4850931 on the WhatsApp if you want to call us there, or 4560931. Let's hear your contribution to the program this afternoon. South of the Island, heard every Thursday right here on Sky 93.1 FM, as well as on GVD TV, as well as on the UWP Facebook page. You have multiple ways to listen to this show. Wherever you are in the world, you can access us once again on Sky FM 93.1, and then on GVD TV, and we are on Facebook Live as well on the UWP Facebook page. Good afternoon to you wherever you are. We're waiting for your calls and your contribution. 4560931, 4850931. Yes, Diana.
I must remind persons to go like my page on Facebook. Indeed. It's called the Diana Chronicles. There you will see information of what the government has done, and somewhat, I would say, campaign feed in a more humanized manner, in a different pattern as per the norm. What I'm trying to do is get especially the youth interested in politics. Because at the end of the day, it does affect your life in one way or the other. Yeah. You cannot say, well, that has nothing to do with... No, it has everything to do with you. Because should you decide, mistakenly, dreadfully mistakenly, to go the other side, you are going to be in some deep crap, if you permit me to say it this way. To phrase it this way. So you need to understand the wealth of the United Workers Party and how it's going to do for you and your life.
And we have a call. Our first call this afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How are you today?
I am doing well.
Fantastic.
I am doing well.
Welcome to the show.
Yes. Welcome. Yeah. Nice to be on the show.
Indeed.
All right. I'm under 23 years old, and I'm just looking at this show, and I'm very impressed with Miss Diana.
All right. Yeah, let me give it a bell.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I like the statement that was made earlier about teaching a fisherman how to fish.
That's correct.
Instead of
giving him a fish every time that he asks for one.
Yeah, and as a young man, that is important for you.
You need to learn how to fish.
That is very important. Yes, very, very important.
That's the government of the United Workers Party for you.
Yeah.
Teaching you
we
how
facilitate you with the skill to be self-sufficient.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah, so which community are you calling from? Which constituency?
I am from Beaufort North.
Beaufort
you
North.
are?
Well, welcome, sir. Let me give you the bell.
Thank you for calling.
You must, and then let's have a conversation. Because you are a young man, 23, from Beaufort North, and you know our plight in Beaufort North. Tell the young folks who are there, you will decide this election. Please tell them where to vote. Give them some advice in terms of where to vote and what you hope to happen and hope to see in Beaufort North. Let them hear.
Like I've been hearing, we need to go buy our tickets and board Virgin Atlantic and go straight to London.
All right. I'll give you.
And we're going to London first class, by the way.
And guess what? You don't even need to buy a ticket on Virgin Atlantic. You could, if the ticket is absolutely free.
Imagine.
FREE. So you need to just board. Get on board, and that's it.
The only pass that you need is when you go to vote, you place the X next to Vincent, London, and the United Workers Party.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
And I have. Okay, we lost that person on the landline there. You could call us back at any time. But then, tell us some more about how, growing up in Beaufort North as a young man, when you compare Beaufort North to other constituencies, what is it that we're lacking in Beaufort North? If you can.
We are lacking proper representation. We've been looking at Mr. Mr. SLP in the House of Parliament,
and
it's just been straight up anger coming from him. I don't know why. It just from the time of the pandemic, he has not handled the pandemic very well at all.
Call on the landline, please.
Every message that he brings is
anger,
very negative.
Yeah, negative.
It's anger.
Yes.
It's
frustration.
Yeah, it's like it's like every measure that's put in place, he just counters it.
Yes.
He just plays politics with the whole situation. And COVID-19 is worldwide.
Indeed, and he refused to give a solution. He refused to suggest to say something that makes sense. It's just a bunch of disagreements and negativity. But go ahead.
Yeah. So what's your solution? What's what's your plan? What are your plans? I've never heard him speak about any plans. From the time that I was growing up in Beaufort North, I've seen from growing up from a young age. I've seen the same things going on here. Over and over. Nothing's been changed. It's only the people of the constituency itself that have been doing certain things, putting their best foot forward, and all I can see is him coming to the city, the different things that we host, and then
that's right,
just
sir.
Talking.
That is right. No meaningful contribution, nothing to push you all forward, and so on. I am so glad that you have noticed that, and that you'll be doing the right thing this election, and vote someone who's responsible and going to take us to the next level. So thank you for boarding the aircraft, and then remember to let others like you, young people, tell them that the seats are open. It's free seating. It's free tickets. So just get on board, and we will get there together. Our destination is progress. Our destination is the future.
Our destination is London.
That's what you need. Indeed, our destination is London. Yes. Thank you for calling, sir. Have a good one.
Yes. No problem.
Take care. Thank you very much. And we have a call on the landline. Thanks for holding. Go ahead with your contribution.
Hey, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for holding.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. And you?
I'm great, by God's grace.
Indeed.
Yes. It's Diana laughing all over. I'm going to tackle on two things this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Go right on.
Because she says she's a very aggressive young woman.
When it comes to men, sir.
When it comes to men.
That's it.
Let me not get involved in this, because you know the reputation of politicians already. You have to be very careful.
I was just saying, I'm starting to enjoy your shows, and
thank you, sir.
But I have an issue. My issue is maybe when people hear your voice, they associate you with certain, they give you certain affiliations, and then I read the comments on Facebook sometimes, and it's very, very, very bad.
Yeah, you get that. You get that.
Especially if you think that I am not with you, you should work to win me.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like you go fishing, and there is a school of fish, and you have your cast net, and before you cast that net, then you throw a stone. What happens?
Yeah.
You chase away the fish. But then if you tiptoe and you take your time and you cast that net, then you are most likely being able to catch the fish.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in the chat, you get a lot of statements like this is a UWP show, you get off here, and all sorts of all sorts of things like that.
Well, I can tell you something, sir. Just before you continue, there are supporters on both sides.
I'm not castigating you. I was just telling you that.
I know you're not. I know we're just having a decent, conversation right there.
Yes.
And I'm saying that there are supporters on both sides, and they are both overzealous. There are some who are very defensive of their territory. They will protect their turf. So therefore, even when contributions are coming from the other side, they'll say, "Hey, come off. This is our territory." And then the other side will say, "Boy, this is not good. This is negative. This is so." So it's just the banter between both sides of the divide that is going on.
It's a lack of consideration. It's a lack of consideration. It's a lack of respect and regard for each other.
That too, the maturity levels, I think, has to be. That's
signs of immaturity.
Yes, exactly.
You need everybody to listen to you. And like I said to you, if you were supposed to win that seat, you would be a rep for both red and yellow.
That is correct.
So I continue to advocate that we live peacefully.
Yes.
We can disagree without being disagreeable.
Well said. Well said. Let me give you the bell for that.
Yes.
He doesn't want to ring.
Now, on the point of
looks like you're a Labour Party person, so he doesn't want to ring. That's a joke. Disregard. I was going to give you the bell, but then it does not want to ring. So saying it's an indication that
ring. Yeah. But you deliberately did not ring that bell.
No, it's showing me that you are support of the St. Lucia Labour Party, but that's a joke. That's a joke. Don't take this seriously.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
sir.
but I was saying, in terms of teaching somebody how to fish,
yeah,
as compared to giving somebody a fish, what does that really entail?
All right.
Right? What does that really entail? Teaching somebody how to fish.
Correct. All right.
Does it mean that you just go out with that individual and just coach that individual? How you put your hook and sinker? This is how you put a bait on the hook. Now I take it a little further than this. Right? I take it a little further than this. And when I was growing up, I said one thing to myself. I looked at the Indian race and I looked at the Creole race, the Negroes, and I usually said to myself, the Indians had gone past us for one basic reason. Their parents invested heavily in them.
Correct.
And you would hear some Negro parents telling you, "Your partai baish."
Yes, that's right.
And we were kept behind because our parents never, quote unquote, work for us. Now,
Correct.
You're not working for a child. And I personally believe that it is my responsibility to care for my children. And the good book says a man who fails to do that is worse than an infidel. So after I would have cared for that child, send that child to school, she has a proper education, I believe if she needs a bank start in life, I should be the one to give that bank start.
Yes.
And that I see also as teaching you how to fish. You understand me? So you may want to teach somebody how to fish and that person has no means of buying a rod. Teaching that person how to fish may be your responsibility to get that person his first rod, you know.
That's correct. Yeah.
And after you've bought that person their first rod, the first set of line, hook and sinker, you understand me what I'm saying? That person, you coach that person, then that person gets that bank start in life, and that person can continue fishing and teach somebody else how to fish. Right? Now, in society today, we have different sets of people, and I'm proud of initiatives like I tell BPO and all of that. I'm proud of that. Young people are getting an opportunity to make a living. But in society today, my brother, there are persons who cannot be absorbed in our police force. They cannot be absorbed in our teaching services. They cannot be absorbed in our nursing services. They just cannot hold certain jobs. You understand me?
And so, caller, just before you go on any further, and so that is why I have my tenets, the 5 tenets, and they would fall on the one of them. And these people who, as you are putting it, are unemployable or who do not wish to work for anybody else, they should be able to work for themselves. And under the leadership of Vincent London, we're going to create the programs on the entrepreneurship where people within our constituency, they are able to get the necessary training to access funds, because the government has tons of programs where these funds are available. Seed funding, grant funding, and so on. Referrals. The necessary expertise should be invited within our communities. So during our quarterly meetings, my dear friend, the people within the community know, the constituency know, that these are things that can be done so that I can earn an income. And I like the way you're going, because it's not everybody who is going to be able to become a policeman or custom officer or a nurse. Or want to go down to Massey stores and get a cashier job there, or at the gas station. It's not everyone. You have tons of people with their own skill set who can become successful.
There are tons of people, Mr. London, who would want to do certain. Let's see, there are guys who would want to own their own wood workshop.
That's correct. That's correct. That's why I'm heading.
They have no means. Now that's what I'm telling you about teaching a man to fish. Teaching him to fish, is it may be the responsibility of some kind of organization, maybe government,
to
assist that individual in purchasing those expensive tools that he needs to be successful in that line.
Again, you and I are traveling on the same route or route, some people like to say, because here I'm repeating again, under my the tenet, under the tenet for entrepreneurship, this is where we are heading. Connecting people to the right programs, you know, where they can get help. So if this man, as you're saying, wants to have a workshop but does not have the means to get the tools and so on, we should be able to direct that person as to where to get funding to start this workshop, to bringing the necessary tools. You know, we should be able to have a program in place that this young man is able to go there and sit and have some discussion and a way forward to get his tools.
Now, let me tell you something, Mr. London. You have people saying that government should give the people some money, some kind of relief. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I am not totally against it. I am not totally for it. I'll tell you why. There are persons who maybe have lost their jobs, but they are still able to hold themselves to a certain extent. But there are persons, and it's painful sometimes to watch people in your community who just cannot make it, my brother.
Right.
And this is as real as it can be. And I don't want to blame government. I can blame our community persons also. What do you do when you know that there is this little boy, right? You know he should be in school, and you know his parents cannot afford to help him go to school. You understand me?
Yeah.
But your dog, maybe it's better than that little boy.
That is true. That is true.
And you're going to call on governments to do something, feed that little boy. But what's your responsibility as a community person?
Got you.
Or you driving up that road in the hot sun, you pass that lady with that child on her arm in that hot sun. Are you going to call the minister to go give that lady a ride?
Well.
What is your responsibility as a community person who's driving a vehicle?
Caller, I actually like what you're saying, and if you permit me to add an experience as of yesterday to what you're saying as for being a community person and what your contribution is. Yesterday, we were filming some activity in Dennery, and whilst we stood in a particular area, a lady started yelling some stuff about, she said it in Creole, the school has no chicken for the kids, so call Shasni and tell Shasni we want chicken. You are from the community. You're donating chicken. She said she has to take money from her pocket to get chicken for the children in the school. You are from the community. What is so wrong? Or do you expect the PM to give you $1 million because you gave some chicken to the school for the kids who needed it? Do you not have children in there as well, or relatives in there as well? Or must you have relatives to not complain? Must you have relatives who attend the school to not complain? Can you not just do it from your heart? And this person just happened to be from the other side. So that shows you, St. Lucia, the nature of you-know-who. So be quite careful. They are not for community. So thank you, sir, for raising that point and allowing me to contribute.
You just took it to another dimension that I don't want it to go to. We don't have to color it red and yellow all the time. We just color it
I understand.
Community.
Yes, but it still forms part of the community.
People from both sides have that kind of attitude because you are dealing with St. Lucians. We have no set of colors where the people are perfect and any set of color where the people are imperfect. You understand me? We're dealing with St. Lucian, we're dealing with humankind. You understand me? And the same thing obtains. Let's be real about this. The rurocious aspect of it obtains on both sides.
Yes.
Both sides.
Well, you can't escape it, Caller. You cannot escape it.
You cannot escape it, but you cannot escape it, but you can do better. Irrespective of color, you can do better. You can be a human being. Yes, you can be a human being.
Yeah, human being, yes. And you know what I'm not happy about? Each time that maybe as individuals or as groups that we go out to, we try to reach out to somebody, I hate the aspect of the camera.
Oh wow!
Right.
Thank
I hate
you.
the aspect of the camera.
Yeah.
That if I'm going to
Finally
go do
someone said it.
something,
Yeah.
if I'm going to go do something for you, now I'm not talking about if you're let's say an organization is doing something, but every individual who wants to do something, they want the camera to follow.
There's a Bible verse that says,
now that's
if you're
where
left to
hand,
do
right,
something,
right.
then the right should
the Bible
move
makes
back,
reference
yes.
to
the
that.
Bible makes it
Yes.
clear.
So
Now what you give
in
with
my
your right hand,
efforts,
your
being a
left hand
community
should not
person,
know.
I've been
correct.
guided by that as well.
Correct,
Yes,
correct.
so, and if each of us reach out to an individual, governments have less problem.
Indeed,
Absolutely.
I quite
Well said,
agree.
sir. Let me see. Let
That
me
is
test
a
this again,
good
and
point.
I'll know which side you're on. All right, you're on the right
That
side.
is a
The bell
good
is ringing for you. But thank you for calling, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you have a very, very good afternoon.
Thank
and
you
it's
for
the eve of
calling.
the weekend. You have a good afternoon. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. And Diana, you made a very valid point there. But before I say it, let's go to the phone lines and say good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show, South of the Island. What's your contribution?
Hello.
Hi there. Good day, sir. How are you doing?
Yes, how is everyone?
Not too bad
Very
at
well.
all.
Good afternoon.
Go right ahead, sir.
Well, I was on NBC show a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago or yesterday, one of them. Yesterday? So I was in Brian's and Yadi show yesterday, and I was planning on getting on the show for over a month. I have been planning, and if I tell you the only reason why I did not go is because of a bus fare. Understand? So that means I am not in any way to say I have millions of dollars in my disposition. I
All
could
right,
just
so-
go and collect cash.
Okay, so what's your issue really?
Well, I got a call from someone who told me that it would be a good idea to contact you, Mr. London, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let us know which community or constituency you're calling from.
I am calling from Mikud South.
Miko South. All right. You kind of hesitated to to say it. I wonder if we should believe you. But anyway, no issue, sir. Yes. And then you went.
There was no hesitation. I can see that there is a combined school right there with the tank in the back.
All right.
So, do you have the right number?
Yeah. Well, I think he does. He mentioned my name there, so he knows where he's calling. All right. So you want to get on the show for a specific reason or something?
No, I do not want to get on the show. I was recommended for you to ask for your assistance in what I do.
Oh, okay.
To go to what show, sir? You
Pardon?
needed his assistance to go to a show on NBC?
No. I think he said.
Is that what you said?
I think he said he was on an NBC show, and that I heard he said he was trying to get to me.
Okay.
And wanted to, get some assistance. So if I'm understanding him, but it sounds
exactly are you
it sounds as if
saying,
it's something
sir?
that's private. So you could call me on 727-3373.
Can you call Mr. London after the show?
Yeah, 727-3373. So you can discuss.
No, but I also want to make a deeper contribution.
Oh yes,
well,
go
go
right
ahead.
ahead, sir. Go right ahead. You're from the Prime Minister's constituency, after all. Go right ahead, sir.
What I'm saying is that, okay, I was on the show and I went on the show to get money.
Okay.
Okay? I do not want guidance to tell me become an entrepreneur or to develop my communication.
Let's stop it. Okay, one sec. So when you go on these shows, you get money? Is that what you're saying? Because you said you went there to get money.
Well, I heard you speaking earlier about knowledge and understanding, right?
Go on.
Was it you? So that if you have knowledge, knowledge is power.
So they say, yeah.
I have the knowledge. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if the people have the money and I don't have the money, I cannot go in people's pockets and steal the money.
Nah, that's a crime.
I have to give them a reason to put out the money from their pockets.
Right. So are you using your knowledge to get power so that you can put out commodities or things that people can put out their monies to buy and make you get money?
But that's why I went on the show to tell them what I do as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
That's what I went to do.
Fantastic. So what do you do?
I am a designer, an inventor. Okay.
Wow.
A lot of people think that I just design one thing.
It
is not one thing.
But what do you design? What are the things you design and you invent? Give us some ideas.
I have designed a water distribution method for WASCO, and I cannot get to WASCO's office to explain to them how they can increase and better the supply of water in my community.
You've made appointments, you've attempted, you've had, you've made calls?
No, I don't have to make appointments for that. I don't have to make appointments for that type of information to make through WASCO's.
I think you do, sir, because there's a certain level of policy procedure in those institutions, and you would have to contact someone who will probably be able to direct you. So I suggest that you make a nice call.
After the appointment, there is either disappointment.
But here you go. One sec, caller. That is where we are failing ourselves. Immediately right there, I see you are not looking at your challenges as opportunities. And I'm telling you, every challenge is an opportunity. Because already you are saying, wait 1 second. Already you are saying you have not even tried, but you're already putting the stumbling block in place. So you are actually speaking negativity on your talents and the possibilities of you getting somewhere. I think you should try, sir. And there's no free lunch on the face of this earth. There's nothing free. And there will always be hurdles and challenges and mountains to climb and oceans to swim. There's nothing free, my dear caller. So the challenge, one moment, the challenge, one second, one moment, let me finish my statement. The challenge of you not getting to the proper person at WASCO should give you even more reason to keep on trying. Because it sounds as if to me you've not tried, but then you're saying that you are not going to get through. What do you say?
What I'm saying is that I am not saying I will not go to them the formal way. What I'm saying is I do not have to go to them the formal way because making an appointment in this COVID-19 environment is quite difficult.
I think there are other means. There are other means.
I believe I could call the firm, call them, and they could drive to my area and we could have a simple conversation.
No, but you need to start that conversation. And have you called them? Have you attempted to call them?
But I was just making that other point as to what I design, okay? It's not specifically what we are talking about. What we are talking about is that St. Lucia has a lot of potential.
Absolutely. And that's why.
And there is something I call PPP. Yeah, you call it private partnership, private-public partnership. But to me, that's not private-public partnership.
What is it?
This is possible profit potential. That's what it is.
Okay, your acronym.
The possible profit potential is not being seen. People are not seeing the possibility. They just believe in private-public partnership.
Well, as you heard, caller, I have my 5 tenets, and under one of them is the E, entrepreneurship. Now, wait 1 sec. If we have not been getting the leaders to push us in that direction, it means that our dreams and aspiration will just be, nonsensical, or it'll just go. It's going to vanish into thin air. Our dreams will just disappear because we do not have the leaders to take us to realize our potential. Usain Bolt, for example, could not have made it to the success that he got if he didn't have a coach. Yes, he has the raw talent, but he has to take someone who will refine his skill set to make him realize the full potential. And this is what we need in our constituencies as leaders, the politicians.
So are you saying that you should start a life coach program in St. Lucia?
It is probably very beneficial to do so.
Now, and if you start the life coach, isn't that benefiting to the possible profit potential?
Yes, it is, sir, and we are agreeing right there.
So we should stop thinking about the private-public partnership and start thinking of the profit the possible profit potential.
Well, it works in both ways. It works like that. The PPE works in both directions. It is like a knife with two edges. You know, it works. It has its advantages and disadvantages in both directions. So I'm saying to you,
as far as I see,
I'm saying
the partnership will not work.
All right. Well, you know, probably you've studied it to the extent that you've realized. No, probably. No, I'm saying probably you have studied it to the extent that you realize that it has its disadvantages as well. Maybe there's somebody who has studied. There's somebody who has studied the other on the other side. One sec, caller. There's somebody who has studied it, the PPE, on the other level and have seen the advantages as well, or the disadvantages. So it cuts both ways, and I encourage you, my dear friend, to try and set up an appointment with Wasco. No, I am encouraging you. Let me just give you an advice, because we have to run. I'm giving you an advice. I encourage you to keep on keeping on. Basically, try getting your appointments with Wasco, so that they can see. You might very well be, you know, the person to save us from save some communities, in fact, from the drought that they are currently experiencing.
Some communities definitely need saving.
So you need, I think it's worth you pushing.
I like people who listen. You have to listen to me, because
thank you for calling, sir. We appreciate your contribution. We have another caller on the line.
But why he said we're not listening? I think we have listened for more than 10 minutes.
Thank you for calling. Thank you.
Yeah, well,
your point has been very well received and appreciated. We have another call on the line.
I haven't even gotten the contact from Mr. London, so I haven't made my
point.
But
I did.
We are going to leave the contact information for you, so you can call when he's off air. Thank you.
I gave him the number already, you know, very, very early on. But we have many callers, and it's not that we've been rude, but we have so many callers, so we have to end yours right there. Thank you for calling. Good afternoon. What's your contribution?
Good afternoon, Vincent. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. So, welcome to the show.
Boy, let me tell you, that last caller, you have distributed pure psychology to him, and I congratulate you for that.
That is patience on a whole nother level.
You are patient, and you really place it right. That is psychology. I like that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. You know,
are we still in London, Mr. London?
Let's get to the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon. What's your contribution?
Good afternoon, Mr. London.
Hi, good day, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. I thought you didn't have your show, but when I switched on, I realized, oh.
Yes, we are on.
Mr. London is on.
We are on, sir. Absolutely.
But your last caller, man, I find, boy, it seems to me, those guys doesn't understand, man. You had enough patience with this guy there.
Absolutely.
You say you have something, you know, some drawings, and instead you try to make an appointment to meet the manager and to explain to him, you know, what you have and the plans. You want the fellas to come to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Live that.
Exactly. It is amazing.
Oh my God, man.
It is indeed
Where
amazing.
Where we going from here?
I don't know.
Yes, we have talent. And I know people with talent will go out there and try to market the talent.
Yes.
But it seems to me this guy is a god, man. He just wants, you know, people to come to him and, you know, and salute him, and this is what it is. But I admire the young lady there, man. I believe.
Yeah, she's good.
Dealt with him in the right way, man. We have to move on, because there's so many callers, you know, that want to call you and ask you about, you know, Dennery North and stuff. And your
Dennery
plans.
South,
this guy just
to be correct, sir?
Time.
Yep.
Oh, my God. But anyway, I just call, you know, to wish you all the best, because
thank you, sir.
Whenever you're on this program, I tune in and I just admired your talent.
Thank you, sir.
And I know what you're going to do for you for now.
No doubt, no doubt.
And as I said, I'm supposed to be in London very soon, but unfortunately something always coming up.
Yeah.
But sooner or later, I should be going to London.
And I tell you, the border is open.
We're
going to get a diplomatic entourage to welcome you, sir. The border is wide open. You have no visa, no restrictions at all. You're welcome. Free passage.
And there's a friend of mine that admires you, that likes you very much, man.
Thank you.
Inspector John, man.
Inspector John. Hey, good afternoon, Inspector John. Yes, indeed.
This guy likes you, man.
Yes.
He talks about you a lot.
Indeed, and I thank him for his contribution. He's doing wonderful things for us as well. And I really appreciate his contribution.
Actually, he's sponsoring a lady in Nabono, especially groceries and what have you.
Fantastic. Let me give him the bell.
I don't know how to explain to him. I don't know how to explain and what to say about this guy, man. You know, this guy is like a God sent this guy on this earth with a mission.
Indeed. Some people are.
This is what it is.
Just so philanthropic. Yeah,
man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much again.
You're welcome.
And I'm listening to your show till you end.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. You encourage me a lot. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now. And so we have some notes on the WhatsApp platform right there, and somebody said the most important thing you should encourage him to do is to tell to all the young teens to be certain they all register and have their voting card ready. You shouldn't wait for the last moment to work on that, and I thank you for that advice, and it's something we say all the time. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Brother Vincent.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Welcome. How are you?
My brother, how are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Brother Vincent,
I'll tell you what. Well, go on. I should let you go. I'll go on first. Go on.
Yeah, my brother Vincent, I want to tell you, you see these labor boys when they nonsense?
Yeah.
Take these fellas on, man. What I want to act for the time.
Yeah.
And this guy Musa is there. That is what he's done. What have he done around the area? The man don't have a farm. He was the Minister of Agriculture. They don't even have a farm. You want to say where children is working, children on that.
Yeah.
And police see what's going on. We're not stupid in our own place. Look this guy in Viewport, Dr. Kenny, that on the stage like a priest. All in red.
Yeah.
That is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Anymore. Because we're not stupid.
Yeah.
We're not just like we're not citizens, we are not the slaves one. They're using us, they have enough already. They cannot use us again.
That's
not
right.
anymore.
That's right.
Because I'm mad about this thing, my brother. And I hear the fellas calling and still I cannot understand. These fellas just want to kill us, man, and they still want to elect us. And say, I cannot understand. After this fellas, Kenny Bangkok St. Lucia.
Yeah.
And Kenny fund the people too.
Be careful yourself. Be careful as well, because you know we want you to vote, so we need you alive before you pop a vein or something.
Yes.
Don't mind that. Don't mind that.
Be careful.
You can also have get you access to some pressure pills if you would like.
Oh no problem.
He doesn't need that.
No.
All right, sir. Just take it easy.
Yes.
I heard a guy a while ago, and the man is a labor guy. He's explaining everything to the guy, and the man is telling you, questioning you over and over, and he's not understanding.
No, it's no pressure. According to what they say, a lot of my foreign people, when they meet us in the Caribbean, they say, no pressure, no problem, man.
Right.
No
Okay,
pressure, no problem.
I understand that, my brother. What are these boys? Too bullshit.
Correct.
I'm into that talk with you on the other about Vietnam Sala.
Absolutely, man. Let me give you the bell on that. Let me give you the bell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Ils allaient pour nous changer. Toute tête nous a blanc. Toute tête nous a blanc. Mais si toute chive qui a né nous a blanc, ça. Toi, casse à la comme ça. Ne pour quitter. Yeah. They are. I'll tell you what they're listening for. They're listening so that if anything is said libelous, that's what they're listening to the shows for, so that they can take us to court. They want us to say something out of the way to take us to court. But you know, our heads,
no power.
Indeed, our heads are screwed right on our shoulders. We know that they are listening.
We pray every day.
That's correct.
We don't need no satanic anymore.
Absolutely, we stamp them out. Indeed,
God is with us, my brother.
No doubt, sir.
My brother.
Nah, they don't.
And we never nothing for you for nothing at all.
Yeah.
All they did is just have people, educated people, picking up rubbish on the sidewalk.
They don't threaten us in any way.
They're threatening people. I can understand right now the man still going up again here and Musa. They're going and call for the people to vote for them again.
And the question is, caller, the question is, what is it that they want to do now that they could not have done in the terms that they served? You know, what is it that you want to do now that you could not have done when you served before? Now you see this government. Now you see this government is moving. This government is doing things. Now you think that you can come in and try to undo, you know, rather than coming or telling the people, you know, good things and ways to really go about, you know, getting rid of this, of fighting the COVID situation. You're criticizing every single move that the government makes towards that direction, and now, you know, you want to ask them for a renewed mandate. What is it that you want to do that you couldn't have done during the terms that you served? Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to South of the Island. It's 16 minutes to 3. Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you today?
You're not too bad. What are you on your guest?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my brother, I listened to you there and I was baffled. I mean, these people have a way of changing their tone of voice and make things look as though they even disabled.
Let me just ask the caller on the landline to hold. Go ahead, sir. Go on.
Yeah, they are acting as though they're disabled. You know, just to see whether they can get us, you know, in the exact way they want us. But let me tell you, we can do better than that.
But you from the PM's constituency, would you know, because he said he was calling from the PM's constituency, Mr. South.
You know,
do you know him?
When I listen to the guy, he takes so long to tell you if he's from Mikutu South. But I don't think we have somebody like that from Mikutu South.
We should take that with a grain of salt. That's what I said to him initially.
I am not too sure where he's from, which constituency. He probably thinks something.
Yeah, because he hesitated, so that was an indication that he's probably not.
Latest news: the National Trust have sued the government.
Wow.
Okay.
What's new?
That is for the old Royal Jail that was demolished. Now, the same National Trust that did not have money the last time when government withdrew the amount of money that they used to give them, they went and protest and make noise all over the place. They say that will be the National Trust will be bankrupt. Now they have money. They suing the government. They take the government to court.
Yeah,
Can you imagine?
I wonder how they paying the lawyers, where they got the money from. You know.
Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that that thing have more than we ever think of. These people have tried so many things, and when I say these people, I was not even going to refer to the National Trust so much. The opposition have tried so many tactics. So what they're thinking of doing is to hide in behind the National Trust and do something that will sound so silly, so that can change the mood or the tone of the people at the ballot box. But that is not going to work. It cannot work. You know, the intelligent St. Lucian, the smart and clever-minded solution for 2021 would not fall for that.
They are in the majority, and I'm giving you the bell for that. I said that during my preamble. They are in the majority, the smart, objective St. Lucians. That is why the United Workers' Party is elected and will be re-elected again.
And let me say it clear. Where was the National Trust when La Paradis was destroyed?
Good point. Good point.
Good point. When that beautiful land which had so many species, you know,
snakes,
and we know
Frigate Islands, yes,
exactly. The National Trust did not say nothing. They all take Mumu tablet, nothing. And now the National Trust, you're talking about the old Royal Jail, which served nothing here.
It was a pit toilet for some people in industries.
Yeah, I was just going there. It was a place where a lot of nonsense and things used to take place. The government, the United Workers' Party did not just went and demolish that place deliberately. They are planned for development, which will have magistrate court and so many different buildings that will be in that particular area.
Raise the face of Castries. The aesthetics of Castries will be improved greatly once that structure is done. And
because
more. Go on.
And so there now have been, because the National Trust has been, I want to know in which constituency Tulsi want to run. Because he has showed clearly that he's a politician and he wants to tell the government what to do. Do not interfere there. Do not. I mean, this is not Guyana, you know.
No. Well, okay, no. So, my bro, that's one thing I do not want us to say. You know, not on our side, not on the other side, because you know what? No. Yes, I think according to I'll be the Speaker of the House today. I ask you to withdraw this statement, and the reason why I'm asking you to withdraw it is because the man is St. Lucian, just like you and I. You know, the xenophobia that is this the same thing that we're asking the Labour Party not to do or refrain from doing? By saying that the PM, all of a sudden they're playing the race card. Right now, I think we're doing the very same thing if we say the gentleman is Guyanese. That's not good. But let me just complete this statement. Last elections, 2016, I heard they say the same thing for my good buddy, the Honorable Dominic Fede. You know what they were saying about him? Who the H is Dominic Fede. And now you know what happened? They have to call him Honorable Dominic Fede. So I'm saying our Caribbean folks, regardless of whether you are from Haiti or Suriname, if you are part of the Caribbean, I believe that you have every right to contest an election anywhere, to be involved in local politics, no matter what.
That is true.
The only thing that may prevent you from doing that is the constitution of the country that you may be living in. But every Guyanese, as long as they are St. Lucian, every Jamaican, every Vincentian, well, as you know, for the OECS, we are all one. But I don't want people to point out, because the gentleman was born elsewhere, that he's not able to make a significant contribution.
But you're quite right. You're so true. But Vincent, did you aware that the National Trust had ever taken the former administration? I mean, sticking their toes like that?
No, not this one before, not the one before that, and the one before that either. As a matter of fact, they were all watching the same, dancing to the same tune, you know, getting support from each other, because remember, the subventions went to them, so they could not, you know, in any way try to get the government of the day upset, you know. So they were more facilitating than this government.
Anyway, I am monitoring that case. I am monitoring that very closely. Briefly, let me just once again, a nice show as always.
Thank you, sir.
And then let me just say to the people of Beaufort North, the clock is ticking right now. And then I only hope right now the majority, not the majority, every young eligible voters in Beaufort North supposed to know what to do at the time when, well, we're not ringing bell, in fact, when the announcement will be made and Parliament will be dissolved. We cannot wait. And let us say I particularly who residing in another constituency, not in Beaufort North, I cannot wait to see changes come to Beaufort North.
And you are saying that right. I'm giving you the bell on that.
Because I tired of seeing the same thing every day I pass there, nothing different. It's almost as though you live in a ghost town and nothing is happening. And come on, and looking at, I mean, my partner in Parliament, pretending as though he has done so many things to that constituency.
Yes,
he's so lovable, he's so friendly. Come on, give me a break.
Let me also call on the landline to hold. Yep.
But let me just round that up quickly. I know for sure that when there come the next general election, and I said it, I said it in 2016 for our current rep, he will be, well, that's why he will be in Parliament. He already in Parliament.
Well said.
And he will be the representative of Fort Knox. That will be one of the joyous days in the history of my life and St. Lucia in particular.
You get the bell, sir.
I will celebrate that. Yodi ko ha munka witel madele bushoka fundes away. Have a blessed day, my brother, and take care of yourself.
Thank you,
you
sir.
and your guests.
Thank you very much. You have a beautiful day and enjoy your gifts and so on. I know you'll buy a beautiful gift for your wife, your wonderful husband, and your mom as well. Good afternoon to you. Once more, it's 7 minutes into 3 o'clock. And this is South of the Island, heard every Thursday right here on Sky FM, as well as GVD TV and UWP Facebook page.
Hello?
Good afternoon. This is my first female caller. Hi, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, we are there. Welcome. Go ahead with your contribution.
I'm enjoying your program.
Oh, thank you very much.
I wasn't a UWP, but now
there you go. Let me give you the bell for that. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home.
That will be there because that will make us eat our nails.
Absolutely. Not only nails, but rocks as well. And anything iron and stuff like that.
So have a blessed day.
Thank you, my sweetheart. Happy Mother's Day to you. Bye-bye now. Fantastic. You see people coming home, Diana? People are finally coming home, realizing that there's nothing to be given or gained, rather on the other side, on the red side of things. You know, red means danger.
Because
and so
I'm happy that you made reference to people coming home, because yesterday one of our interviewees was actually a Labour supporter who came home.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Mr. London. How are you doing?
I am doing good, sir. Thank you for calling.
And to your guests as well.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well, I have to touch on 2 points, but the caller before last about the prison, the trust took the government to court. But my other thing was the Labour Party is making a case saying that the Prime Minister traveled to Barbados for 1 day and he came back and he didn't go to quarantine. Didn't Mr. Dominic Fede give the list of countries which that are
the bubble? The bubble, absolutely, sir. Yeah.
Right. Including Barbados, right?
Including Barbados.
Good.
Yes, correct.
Today I was listening to the Senate. The Labour Party, I can recall the Labour Party senator, the lady.
Yeah, Jiwari, a name like some name like that.
Well, Barbados just get into the bubble 2 days after the Prime Minister arrived to St. Lucia.
Right.
That's what she said. So I don't know. So I wanted to clarify that whether what she's saying is right. And before the Senate, Dominic Fede had already make it a document.
Absolutely. So therefore
and Barbados was included.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. And so we need not even go any further to research on that, because it was already established. It was already established in the lower house that Barbados was included as part of the bubble. They are part of it. So therefore, if the Honorable Prime Minister traveled to Barbados, he could come right back here by way of the fact that Barbados is part of the bubble, in the bubble. You know, so it's just they continue propaganda and the Malpale, the movie land.
Should have known by now. Every time they open their mouth and lie, people is seeing that.
Correct. That's
and
correct.
It makes it worse for them.
That's correct. Nitpicking.
All they have to do is just cool out and let things go.
Nitpicking.
Everybody is seeing, and they keep on saying everybody crying. They walk in the street and people come on.
But you know, they have to paint a negative picture, because they think this is how they will be winning the next election, by making everybody feel it's doom and gloom. It's the end of the world. You know that you should give all the money. Oh, go and withdraw all the money from the banks and give it to the people because the end is near. You know, that's what they're making people They're making people believe. It's like telling the plane companies and the cruise ship companies, do not order these ships anymore. If you're building any, stop it. If you're ordering planes, stop it. It's like telling the people in the hotel sector, do not renovate any rooms anymore because the end is near. This is just the ridiculous modus operandi of the losing, the lost, and I can't find any more adjectives to describe them.
Yes.
It's unfortunate, my brother, but you know them and you're smart, and the majority of St. Lucians are smart, and will not give them any chance to lead us to the next 5 years or beyond.
The young lady, the callers have been calling and saying that when something leaves the show, there's nobody to fill in the gap. But she's very articulate and verse from the. I've been listening to you on her.
Jeez.
And she's very articulate and verse.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of why, if it's time again, if she can fill up that space, and it looks like she have a lot of history about politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I think there have been many.
I think we'll have to bring her up for the candidate. It's the time,
You don't want to get in trouble if you continue to say that, sir. So, but then I'm sure many requests have been made for her to take on a segment there, and it's up to her to decide.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Yes, sir. You are so right about that.
Anyway, brother.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Good show, as usual.
Thanks. Yeah. Excellent. You have a good afternoon. Bye-bye now. Hey, and I'm looking at the WhatsApp platform right there, and somebody's saying here, I'm not sure what team he's referring to, or he or she, but your team will lose the elections. You just bought your ticket to London. Get it, I don't know what to read out of that, which side he's referring to. So maybe you can call us, whoever that person is, and speak up, man. Stop hiding behind the WhatsApp chat room. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I did not too bad. You see the red snake that came tell you all the magic there. Your Lord should throw this red snake to the water and drunk because this magic you're talking about.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, my dear friend.
Thank you for calling.
Bye-bye. While we know both sides of the divide will have their passion for politics on the island of St. Lucia and elsewhere. So the thing is, we're living in a democracy, and so we have free speech, and people will say, and people will write, and people will quarrel. But at the end of the day, God knows who is going to win this next election. He has already appointed those he have, decided to lead this country forward, or to bring it forward. And no matter how much we quarrel, fight, curse, swear, it is what it is. I think it is a old Flemish saying, it is what it is and it cannot be otherwise. So if a party that goes for you, you can jump and spread out, as my friend says. It is what it is and it cannot be otherwise. The St. Lucians are choosing the United Workers' Party. Good afternoon, welcome to the show. It is what it is and it cannot be otherwise. So the party that goes for you, you can jump and spread out. Are you there with us, caller? Alright, so you're not there. Good afternoon to you, and you have a good weekend, because I don't think you're actually ready. And our number here, folks, is 4560931 or 4850931. Back to the phone lines. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. You may have to...
Good afternoon, Mr. London.
Good afternoon. Try and lower down on your TV or radio, whichever one is causing some feedback.
I am on the TV.
Alright, good. So go ahead with your contribution, my dear friend.
Good afternoon, Mr. London.
Good afternoon to you.
And Miss Diana Williams.
Good afternoon.
I'm calling from your constituency, Miss Williams.
Ah, yeah, welcome. Denver South.
Calling from Denver South.
That's right, giving you the bell again.
Who's this? I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Can you lower down on the volume on your TV, because we're getting some terrible feedback right here.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Very much impressed to know that you are a UWP supporter.
Is this news to you, ma'am?
It looks so.
Okay, I'll do that.
May I ask who's calling?
I don't want to disclose my name. Why you want to know my name? I'm from Denver South.
Okay, You were saying that you're happy to know.
You know me very well, but I'm not going to disclose my name.
Okay, you're saying that you're happy to. I beg your pardon?
UWP supporter, Miss Diana. Knowing your roots, I never thought you'd be UWP.
Oh, wow. I have been from the time I've been able to vote. I may not have necessarily been vocal about it, but I've always been a supporter of the United Workers' Party. And you and I both know why. The reason is beyond obvious. We both know why I could never change and go to the other side.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You are so passionate about your party. Very, very passionate, and I like that.
Indeed, I must. I'm a worker, so I must be passionate.
I hope that you're going to be an influence to the young people of Dennery.
Oh, indeed. If
That should be able to mobilize them to vote for the party.
Indeed, I have done my bit, and I'm continuing to do what I must to make workers out of the young people from Dennery South.
Okay, because a lot of them are ill-informed, they don't know the facts.
I think I'm getting the voice and speaking. I'm not necessarily going to name you, but are you a former principal/teacher? I know who it is. How are you?
She said,
Oh, it's so lovely to hear you. Thank you so much. I'm getting chills.
Oh, thank you very much, Madam Principal. Thank you very much.
Indeed, thank you so much. I'm getting goosebumps. I appreciate this feedback so much.
So you know who's speaking now?
Yes, I do. Alrighty,
All right, take care
bye-bye.
of yourself and have a very, very happy Mother's Day. I know you will have a great lunch and a great dinner as well.
That is a big endorsement, I must say.
Wow. Well, thank you for calling. Let me say advance birthday greetings to Mrs. Ernest, and you're celebrating on the 8th of May 2021. Happy birthday in advance to you, and we will see how this comes on. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you.
Yes. Mr. London, when you're good.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, I just want to call to big you up, man.
Thank you, sir.
I
I
like
appreciate it.
you know what? I'm so happy that you come back to St. Lucia.
Absolutely.
You will not be able to remember St. Lucia. Because the PM is changing the face of St. Lucia.
That's right, and I see you. Your area code is 519. What area are you calling from? What country?
That's the North Pole.
The North Pole, Alaska. you calling from you calling beyond Alaska with Greenland? Antarctica.
That's Canada.
All right, it's Canada. Well, not too far from the North Pole either. So good, and I'm glad you're saying so, because if you don't come back home pretty soon, by the time you return in the next 10 years or so, you might not be able to know exactly where you are. We'll be like Singapore or thereabout.
No, I'll be home pretty soon.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. Have a good Thursday.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
And
thanks for calling.
Keep it up, man.
I appreciate your call. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now. All right. Thank you, callers. It's so nice to hear you. 7 minutes after 3 o'clock, 15:07. And this is South of the Island Sortie, heard every Thursday right here on Sky 93.1 FM, as well as GVD TV, and we are also on the UWP Facebook page. Thank you, supporters of the United Workers' Party, and those who are coming home for the very first time. we obviously look forward to your vote. And let's go to read what's on the platform, on the WhatsApp platform. Somebody says here, good day, Mr. London. What are your chances of upsetting Mr. whoever, I do not want to say that name, in the upcoming general elections, especially considering the Vieux-Fort North seat has been held by the SLP for more than 30 years? Very good question for you. It's almost going on to 50, my dear friend. And so, you know, a question is never answered with a question. But, you know, since I'm hosting this show, I take the leeway to do so. And I will say to you that in 1997, what happened to Mico South? Do you remember that? It was a seat that had never been won by the SLP at the time. And in 1997, it came to the SLP. So there's obvious any possibilities. The seat right now in Vieux-Fort North is a toss-up. It is 50-50. We have very smart, objective, young, bright people in this area, and they are in the majority once again. And they have decided, they have seen what the Labour Party cannot do. But, you know, they have not seen what we as the UWP can do in Vieux-Fort North. And that's why they have every reason to vote. There's a lot of apathy, Labour apathy in the Vieux-Fort North seats. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Mr. Vincent, have you ever tried to extend or reach out to Cicely?
All right, you gave me that assignment, sir, and I did, but unfortunately, we have not had the time to sit. And coming up here this afternoon, I remembered, and I said I must report today on that. We have not had the chance to sit together, so, but I am assuring you that I am pursuing this vehemently.
Well,
and it'll happen.
I was told that he's waiting for your call.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Well, there's you have pen and paper, so take my number down, 720-3373, and then you can WhatsApp me his number so the two of us can...
No, I haven't got it. I'll try and get it for you.
All right. I appreciate that, sir.
And I'll call you back. I'll call the station.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. Bye-bye now. I love people who are trying to bridge a gap, and it'll be fascinating to have a conversation with the then District Rep for Vieux-Fort North. Fascinating. I look forward to that. This is happening, or whenever it happens, rather. So here is another question from the WhatsApp platform. Somebody says, good afternoon, Mr. London and your guests. If this caller is really from Mico South that they were referring to, obviously you're referring to the caller many callers ago. Why didn't this guy check the PM for help? Yeah, I was about to tell him that too. Because after all, the PM is his district rep, and so he would have a better contact to move this forward. But I appreciate his confidence in me. You know, that makes me feel good. Actually. Yeah, that makes me feel, you know, pretty good that he is expressing his, you know, ideas on our show this afternoon. Back to the platform right there. All right. No, so this is not regarding us. Let me just check
Mr.
and
London,
see. Yes, go right
if you permit me to acknowledge the caller from Dennery South, which I will not name, but it is said that you give persons their flowers before they go.
Yes.
And should she still be listening, I must acknowledge you for contributing significantly to educating our community. Just like my mom, you are one of the legends. You are one of the living legends in Dennery. We know you, we see you, we honor you, we appreciate you. And thank you though, because at her mercy, if I should phrase it this way, I was able to participate in my rival flower festival, being the Dennery La Rose Queen. At her facilitation, I was able to participate in that Marguerite. So thank you for being literally not just a mother to Margaret, maybe that may have sold you out, but thank you for being a mother to Dennery. Thank you for educating Dennery. Thank you for doing all that you have done and all that you have continued to do. So I see you, I appreciate you, and I wish you a very lovely and a happy Mother's Day.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to you, madam, and we get you rings of bell.
I'm a product of your kindness, so I must acknowledge you.
Excellent. All right, so vaccines, COVID vaccines are happening all over the island. And yesterday, Diana, I had the pleasure of getting my second dose.
Oh, nice.
Before we continue, let's go back to the phone lines. And she's calling you right back, Diana. Right back, Diana. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, madam. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, Miss Diana, you let the cat out of the bag.
I believe I did so.
You let the cat out of the bag.
I did. But we have to thank you for all that you've done for Dennery and all that you still continue to do for Dennery, because you are part of our fortune in Dennery in terms of educating Dennery. You and my mom, you guys fall in that special bracket because Dennery has a complement of brilliance, and that complement of brilliance was brought about by persons like yourself and the late Miss Mona. So thank you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do. And hopefully, irrespective of the protocols, I could hug you when I see you a little later on. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay, you can see me much details because I am I have limited mobility. I can't go out of my
I quite understand. So that means a visit is due. I need to drop by.
Okay, bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye.
Take care of yourself, and you know you need to walk a little at a time.
Oh, but she is amazing in our community. She is.
I can only imagine.
She is. She's a former principal.
So yesterday, I went to which school though? It's the primary school or the?
She has served. She's taught in Dennery. She was the principal in Dennery. She has been the principal in the Valley, I think Richford combined. Okay. But she has done a significant amount of things in the community.
You're letting all the cats out of the bag.
Oh, because she's deserving. Because she's deserving.
Congrats, and that's wonderful.
And thank
We're
you.
Giving you all your roses.
All your roses, even though you're a Margaret, we're giving you all your roses.
All right, so yesterday I went to get my second shot of the COVID vaccine, and I can't believe that there are some people who are still so opposed to getting those vaccines. And I urge our constituents, Fort North, Dennery South, you name it, island-wide, go for your vaccines. We need the herd immunity. Don't you want to be able to go to the beach anymore? Don't you want to be able to go to the supermarket without those, all those protocols and stand outside of the credit union in the hot sun and the banks and so on? Don't you want to get back to when, if it is at all possible, to the time when we were free? Don't you want to be able to go to your socials, your gatherings and
to
so
your
on?
zesses.
Yes, and I know
the new
some of you, some of us have cabin fever. Hundreds of you. You need to be able to go and exhale and relax and go and have the fun that you normally used to. But they're telling you to go and get your vaccines and you're refusing to do so. People, come on. There have always been vaccines before. There's the polio vaccine. There's a one for this Ebola vaccine. There's a one for mumps. What we call la gloom in Creole.
What it's called?
Yes,
This is what it has always been all this time.
Yes, la gloom.
Else.
There have always been vaccines, and I know you are concerned about the fact that it was done in record time. That is because there was an urgent need for the vaccine. This was a pandemic. It didn't just happen in certain quarters of the world. This happened throughout the earth globally, and so the vaccine needed to be done in a record time. And will there be casualty or casualties? Unfortunately, there may be, because even penicillin or an aspirin, some people are allergic to. So there will be some people who are allergic to the vaccines, and unfortunately, I do not want to say what is going to happen. But folks, the vaccines are good. We need to get us vaccinated. There's no sinister plan to get rid of all black people, as I'm hearing. There is none of that. So let's do what is necessary. And so, let's get on to getting our vaccines. So yesterday I was in Bellevue, Viewford at the Wellness Center in my constituency, and I got my second dose, and it happened in Dennery as well, Dennery Mothers and Fathers Preschool. They were the VG There's a VJ in Fort North, so if you hear me say that, that's because I love all the complex, and they were at the Etangs Wellness Center. That was yesterday. Today, Thursday, May 6th, they are at the Miku Multi-Purpose Center, the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds, the Entripo Human Resource Development Center, the Ancillary Parish Center. And on Friday, they will be at the Vieux-Fort Philip Maji Masne Grounds. They will still be at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds, at the VG Sports Complex, the Barbados Multipurpose Center, the Canaries Wellness Center, Soufre Hospital, as well as the Jack Mel Wellness Center tomorrow. And after that, they will be on the 8th of May at the VG Sports Center. So go and get your vaccines. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm enjoying the show.
Thank you very much, my dear friend.
I'm the first time caller.
Oh, you get the bell for that. Welcome, welcome.
From Dennery.
Dennery, which Dennery? Dennery North or South?
Same place with Mrs. William, Miss William.
All right, Dennery South. Welcome. Thank you, my dear.
Who's calling me? May I ask?
She's curious. She wants to know who's calling.
You know, I'll not mention my name on the air. When you pass in by my home, I'll call you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. She knows who.
Yesterday, that line really hard to get.
Oh, I can imagine it is.
Yes. Every time I call, busy.
Okay.
Yes.
But I still have not gotten the voice. But I'm sure you'll let me know.
William, you will never get the voice.
Oh, really?
When I will tell you that, you'll laugh. Okay, oui.
Oh, is it?
Oui.
Okay. So, ou say you na say jal moyen pour ça me kay oui?
Oui.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you. Oh, me oublié ça là. Me oublié ça.
Children and everything like that.
Oui, mais changer ici Marguerite, mais still bali c'est was rien.
Oui, l'église là.
Yes, so we must mention. Oui. She is one of the most active church members, I must say.
All right. Well, Miss Didine, you let me know you made toutes ces chats là sur
She is deserving of the honor and the recognition.
Chat noir, chat blanc, tout chat sur dehors, tout qualité couleur, tout qualité l'épaisseur.
Oui.
Ah, Miss Didine, you tout chat là dehors.
I'm happy I get that station.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Good
Keep
stuff.
on listening.
So when you pass and check me.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling.
All right.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Thanks for calling. Have a good day. Let's go to the WhatsApp line. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Hello.
Hi there. Good afternoon. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I was listening to your show. Great show. Good show.
Thank you.
But what I'm trying to say, I don't know if you all can make the people come and give us the vaccine in cul-de-sac, because there is a lot of people that cannot move, cannot go anywhere.
Fantastic.
And then I would appreciate if they would come there in the center to give us the vaccine.
All right.
Because I want to take it.
Yeah.
I wish to take it, but I just be tied up with the children.
Excellent idea. So what I will advise for you to do is to contact one of many people, including your district representative or the Minister of Health, the office there, or the health center that is closest or nearest you, or anybody who is a health worker, rather, and then advise them that you need to get vaccines to people who are differently able. I'm sure they make provisions for that, because I know they did that for some people in my constituency as well, where they go to the homes of the persons or the people and just contact them and see what they'll do.
There is a health aid nurse in cul-de-sac. Can I talk to her about it?
I think you should. Yes, ma'am. I think you should.
Okay, I will do that.
All right, my dear friend.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Keep up to the good work.
Thank you, and happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, thanks very much. And tell your mom happy Mother's Day to her too.
Yes, she is listening. She's looking at the TV there, and she's making sure that I look presentable. So thank you.
I'm from cul-de-sac.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you.
Okay.
Are we okay? All right. Inspector Basse, we lost you, sir. You can call us back. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Oh, I'm watching the television and I seem to be, my brain and my ears doing two totally different things. However, it's a wonderful program.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And the little lady who is next to you, she's assisting you or she's representing somewhere else?
No, she's my co-host.
Oh, so, you've got a wonderful, pretty, everything co-host.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
Thank
indeed.
You.
Now,
thank you.
One of the things the lady called and she was saying that she would like to have the vaccine, but she's from Cul-de-sac. The health centers are sending nurses to persons who are not able to come out. So the lady should call the processing center to her.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay?
Fantastic.
Another thing. I don't understand. I really don't understand. What is the issue with the Prime Minister traveling to a country and coming in and continue working? I mean, he's the Prime Minister, so every 2 weeks, 4 weeks, then he's going to go to another meeting? Come on. They are looking for everything. They're trying to now catch a straw.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
You know when
yes,
they're trying to catch a straw, that's really the extreme.
Yes, indeed. Yes, that is
well said.
Latching on to...
This thing is dragging on too much. That needs to stop.
They're latching on to anything.
Quick.
They are latching on to any and everything. And just listen to that. My wonderful... I can call him my producer if you'd like. Just said to me, the gentleman who called from, he identified the gentleman, by the way, who called was from Mico South indeed, and that their strategy is to really try to absorb the time in the show, blocking other people from calling, so therefore they will call and delay the tactic that they're using.
And
so
you know what they do too? Go on.
No. Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. What I've noticed too is they call pretending to be either United Workers Party supporters or persons who they're not on either side.
Yeah.
And then they say stupid things, to lead people away from the way they think. I think that's nonsense.
Indeed.
You see, the thing is, they've always been bullies, and they've bullied the yellows.
Absolutely.
But now the yellow is coming for them. So now they don't know what to do. They're cornered.
Tutu Boucher. That is right.
You got it.
That is right.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, my dear friend.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And I pray that this election will be clean and fair.
Indeed.
And I am waiting for 20 not.
I declare and I
Have a good
decree.
evening.
Thank you, my dear friend.
Thank you.
I declare and I decree that it will be a clean and peaceful election, and the United Workers' Party will get back there in office. So good afternoon to you wherever you are, whether you are here or abroad. And I know we had some calls from abroad a while ago. Here's Inspector Master. Good afternoon to you, Inspector. Welcome to the show. Hi there. Good day, sir.
Good afternoon.
Mr. London.
Yes, sir. How are you doing? I know you've been...
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you, sir.
The lady.
Yes, Inspector Bastia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Okay. London. There are some people who have doctorates in front of the names.
Yeah.
For example, Mr. Healy. If the Prime Minister, if the Commissioner got something on Facebook saying that they will protest around Parliament.
Yeah. Correct.
Does the Commission have to wait when something happens to send his police there?
Nope.
And I heard Mr. Healy when he was being interviewed by the media. Why are the police then there?
Yeah.
And so on and so on. And so you see how stupid.
Yes, sir.
Some people have doctorate in front of their names, and I think his doctorate is behind his name. A man with doctorate cannot be so stupid to say things like that. And then Mr. How you call him, Philip J.P., who is under duress because of these sellers,
oh my
come and say the same nonsense.
Yeah, well...
You don't realize Mr. is on the duress. We cannot say what we want because we're watching him. You know? You say something like that. You expect the police to wait for when things happen to get police to there and there to come and solve the problem. I am so ashamed of to say they're educated. I mean, Mr. England should know better than that. Or what are the police doing there? So surprised there are so many police and so on. I know in the Prime Minister, I think I'm much better than what I'm thinking.
My goodness. Well, sir.
Anyway.
It's interesting. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And I'll tell you what, the guys are latching. They're trying to catch at a straw. Anything that'll give them some talking points, Inspector Bassett, that's what they're trying to get. You know, anything that'll make them appear to be saying something significant, that is exactly what they're trying to do. And you're so right. The inspector, in his own knowledge and in his own wiseness, let me put it this way, you know, in his own intelligence, and he has a lot of people who are informing him based on intelligence report he got that there would have been some protest action, and so he is as proactive as he is. He put the necessary measures in place to prevent the protest or the civil unrest, if you want to call it that. You know, I know it's hyperbole a bit, but you know, they prevented it from happening. And so once the plans of the Labour Party was foiled, now they are crying foul. That's exactly what happened, Inspector. And so they want to turn it around and say as if the government is really doing horrible things to St. Lucians. But St. Lucians are smart, Inspector. They are bright. They are in the majority. And so that's why they elected the United Workers' Party in office in 2016. And will do the same in these elections coming on. And the Vieux Fort North people will not be off the bandwagon this time, because they're sending the United Workers' Party's Vincent London in Parliament to represent them, to change the course, to change the neglect, to change the misrepresentation, to change the underrepresentation, and to finally get us to an extent where we can breathe, where we will take the knees off the necks of our people. That is what Vincent London is going to do in Parliament on behalf of the people of Vieux Fort North. For the young people, for the older folks, for the people in the lower Opicon area who have lived on those lands forever and do not have block and parcel number. For the plain fields in Grace, for the plain fields in Pero, in Opicon, in Moncan, in Viger. Yes, indeed, the one in Bellevue as well. All of these things are coming into the rightful place where they should be upgraded and looked at and given the necessary attention. Somehow, you know, the words are escaping me this afternoon. And I could tell you, we have started doing good things in Vieux Fort North, and we will continue to do the good things. So everybody, we wish you a very, very good Thursday afternoon on the eve of the weekend. I look forward to being here next week as well. That doesn't mean our show is ending yet. We still have, 29 minutes to go. And
speaking of show, there are a few shows that I would want the public to look out for. For example, tomorrow's show, the biggest and best virtual party is happening tomorrow.
Right.
Which is the Flow of Fire Fridays.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
See how PM just set the tone? I'm pretty sure everybody should be wondering what's coming next. The tension is there. The hype is there. Speaking about that, we saw all the irrelevant talk. Details, you know what this has done for us in St. Lucia? It has introduced us again to a human being.
Absolutely.
To an individual who has that ability to appeal to the young persons of this country, to everyone. Where have you ever seen a prime minister who is as in touch with everybody as Honorable Alan Chastanet?
That's correct.
Not once. I'm so happy to see my PM getting down. So whilst I'm dancing in my living room to the sounds of Flow of Fire Fridays, I'm seeing my PM dancing. I'm dancing too, because it shows that, hey, we're in a pandemic, but we have a leader who is there with us.
Yes, indeed.
He is as passionate and compassionate as we need him to be. There's no need for this strict massa type of, you know. We have never had a PM that is so down to earth. Oh, and don't ask for our beautiful First Lady. Oh my goodness. I cannot say enough about First Lady Raquel. She is the best that I've seen thus far for St. Lucia, with respect to her charity, with respect to her heart, how it shows through charity. We have never had what we have now, which is why I encourage every young person who is eligible to vote to come out and vote. Ensure that your ID is in place, ensure that everything is in order, so that you keep St. Lucia where it is, which is receiving of leadership of distinction, which is in receiving of compassion. We have never had this before.
Indeed.
A PM who is as interactive, a First Lady who is so down to earth. I'm not saying this because I'm fond of her. I'm saying this because this is simply the truth. Honestly, before COVID, PM was right there in Carnival among all of us. Where have you seen this before?
They also criticize him for that as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well,
yes,
the silent majority who knows better saw right through the negative that was put out there because of that.
The PM rode at the back of a police motorcycle, and he got bitten. He got criticized.
I remember he rode on a flat van when he came to Dennery North.
And
that was a classic. In terms of when you try to use something against someone, in that regard, they tried to use it against him, but it backfired.
Yes.
So imagine your PM rolling into your community without his big flashy vehicle. He comes in on a flat van. What does that tell you?
Well, they want a PM who will not buy local bread in a suit. They want a PM who will not eat guava. They want a PM who will not go to the supermarket. They want a PM who's not going to pet a local dog. You know, it has to be some fancy English, poodle.
Well, fortunately for us in St. Lucia, the silent majority, we know better.
That's right.
And we appreciate our Prime Minister.
We identify with the PM.
Indeed.
We identify with this man. And so that's why we're going to vote him back in office. The people in Miku South, they're ready. They can't wait for the elections.
There are many sides to the Prime Minister, especially what stands out to me about the PM the most is his commander-in-chief approach in times of tragedy. Look at what happened at the Badville.
Yes.
He was there on the scene.
He got criticized for that.
He was right there. How can you critique a PM who is there when something of that nature happens?
It's the case of the Labour Party, Diana. It's the case of damn if you don't, damn if you do. So regardless, if he didn't go to the site, he would have been criticized and chastised the same way.
Well, what that says is, with respect to our Prime Minister has countlessly said through his actions that he's a Prime Minister who cares. This is an election of the workers versus the talkers. Our Prime Minister is a worker. He was on the scene because he knows that he will do what is best for St. Lucia in strategies as such, which is work.
Let's take this call. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm okay, fine, thanks.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, your lady assistant. Yeah, I just wanted to complete an incomplete picture. Yes, good afternoon. Yes, very. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy, you can't imagine what happened.
But go on.
A red star came at my door asking some busy. I'm talking UWP on the phone. You asking me some busy? No, listen. I wanted to complete this picture.
Yeah.
I do not know how old your co-host is, but the picture about our most affluent Prime Minister is not. The picture is not complete because Sir John.
Yeah, you're right.
In that picture as well, and Lady Jenny Compton is in that picture as well. So I'm just trying to complete the picture, okay? But just continue the good works and let us. Well, the most affluent Prime Ministers St. Lucia have ever had have always been from the UWP,
Indeed,
and that is fact.
Yep.
And I am old enough to attest. All right. So let us just continue applauding our Prime Minister and the good work that
the bell.
Indeed.
And let us not forget Sir John and Lady Johnny.
Yeah.
Indeed.
In the in the recommendations. Okay.
All right,
good
sir.
work you all are doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And
very
so we
much.
acknowledge what we have had before, and it is a true testament to what the United Workers' Party stands
So
for.
John indeed used to ride on this pickup. I think
Yes,
it was
he used to.
It
Yes,
was a
yes.
green two-door pickup because he would have changed his vehicle over and over. But even when he died, I remember that the coffin was placed at the back of this pickup, and then it was, they drove from Castries down to his constituency and back up before the burial. He was a man that was very, very, very down to earth, and even people who would be very, very surprised when they go to Maho and they'd ask for the Prime Minister.
And
he would
they
come
would
to
see
them
with his shorts
boots and
his
dirty
boots.
hands and eating, grapefruits and so on, and his machete, kutla kat clue, you know what I mean? Do you understand? So he was a man that was very down to earth as well, very down to earth.
And not just with the Prime Minister and the First Lady, the United Workers' Party in general. When you find our ministers, they're a bit more approachable. I've had experiences with the other side, and I can tell you it's not as pleasant. And with what we have, we understand that we are workers and we are working for our people. So we create this environment for our people to be able to approach us, to help them to understand how we need them to work for us.
Correct.
As I continue to say, this will be an election of the workers versus the talkers, because we have worked to improve infrastructure, to manage through a pandemic, to improve the lives of young persons, to improve the lives of St. Lucians in general. We have worked and we continue to work throughout our communities and our constituencies. We continue to work. Dennery especially, Dennery South especially.
All right, let's go to the phone lines. Thank you for calling. This is South of the Island. What's your contribution?
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, madam.
Mr. St. Lucia, good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm talking about Mr. St. Lucia.
Good.
So I just want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Something that always bothered me. Why is that when the SLP commit all the crimes, they just walk away that easy if it, you don't put the pressure on them and stuff. I wonder why.
Good question.
Yes, some people perform atrocity, crime after crime, and just go like nothing happened, no big deal. But the slightest thing is the floorboard, the SFP is latching on it.
Anything.
Like hawks.
Yep.
Huh?
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Too mellow, man.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the difference. The difference, my dear caller, is because the SLP is like a bag of noise. And you know, as they say in Creole, sac qui vide café pli désordre. Sac papier vide café pli désordre. So they are very, very, very loud. They are very vocal. The United Workers' Party people are conservatives. They are calculated. They will think. They will not expose all kinds of things as the SLP is doing. And so when it comes to voting, they will go and they'll vote and go back home. But the SLP person has to jump up and shout and all kinds of willily. You know, as John Compton himself would say, willily, willily, willily. Flambeau people are not like that. Do you remember the en rouge phase or phrase that they had back then a few elections ago?
Yeah.
Exactly. Everywhere you pass was en rouge non-stop from north to south and east to west and so on. They have always been very, 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 very aggressive.
What I'm saying, you are a man that committed treason, treason in Dominica.
Right.
Can you really commit atrocity of atrocity? Then you got another guy, a terrorist in the church. Come on, man.
Now, speaking of this, the gentleman that you just mentioned there, the member for Castries South, I couldn't believe my ears when I heard he mentioned the fact that there was no protest or protesters allowed during the sitting of the lower house a few days ago. I couldn't believe that he would be so much against something like that. Because as you rightfully said, check what he said in Dominica during the elections back there. That there was insurrection happening in Dominica was as a result of it being planned in St. Lucia. You know, and then he couldn't produce any evidence of what he was saying there.
But you know why those guys get on that channel? Because those guys know they can say and do anything and get away with it.
Correct.
But you all as MPs or MPs to be, you all don't put the pressure on them, man.
Because the United Workers' Party, again, as I said before, is a very conservative party. They are not loud.
Joachim Henry should not be on the ballot.
Well,
Kenny Anthony should not be on the ballot.
Well,
Ernest Miller should not be on the ballot. Look at this, a block country or what?
Mm-hmm.
This is a block country.
Well, I think what God, my dear caller, what God did is that it gave 2 ears and 1 mouth to every member or every person, every supporter of the United Workers' Party. It gave 1 mouth and 2 ears, and the reason why God did that, let me just answer that. The reason why God did that, it is because He wants the members of the United Workers' Party, supporters of the United Workers' Party, to listen more and talk less. That's why He gave them 2 ears and 1 mouth. But it appears to me that He gave the supporters of the SLP 2 mouths and 1 ear. That's why they talk so much. Everything is yap, 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 yap.
What did Joachim Henry, what did Hubertus Levin do to resign? Joachim Henry is a terrorist. Terrorize a church.
Indeed.
And this man is on the ballot. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Kenny Anthony is another one. And if Kenny Anthony was in England, do you think he'd be on the ballot or this house?
No, he wouldn't be, not in England, not in Canada, not in the United States of America.
Where would he be?
JAIL or JOAL, whichever version you want to say.
And you'll be there for another million years.
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
The boy, what's it called, Joachim Henry. Do you think he'll be on the ballot?
Not at all, sir.
Do you think that guy, Ernest Miller, be on the ballot?
No, with the ongoing investigations.
Huh?
I said.
The slightest thing that someone do, those guys will be lashing on it.
That's what they do. But St. Lucians are used to that.
With nothing. You guys make those guys get away with too much. They're not supposed to get away with nothing. Oh yeah.
Agree with you, but the St. Lucian electorate will be the judge of that pretty soon in the upcoming elections, and we will see how that turns out.
No. You talk about elections. I'm talking about the ballot. Those guys should not be on the ballot. They should not be on the ballot. You're talking about elections. Before you talk about elections, you're going to talk about the ballot.
All right. Yeah, yes. You have a point right there. You have a point, but
hold on. Even the leader of the opposition, Philip J. saying, I said, if you do something wrong, the man have the audacity to ask the question if Joachim Henry did something wrong. That's what bullshit you're like. A man terrorized the church. Terrorist. And the leader of the said if he did something wrong. Dog my cat.
Well, maybe he's out of touch with what happened.
And I'll tell you something. Let me say this to you. Instead of a different station, I'll say this to you. A former diehard Labour Party supporter over here in Bermuda. A man that told me that Alan Saskia would never become Prime Minister. Now he's one of Alan Saskia's biggest supporters.
All right. Let me give him the bell. From St. Lucia to Bermuda.
You know what he said to me? You know what he asked me last week?
What's that?
He asked me the question. If the SLP was, he said, Lucian, if the SLP was in Bermuda, how many votes do you think the SLP will get? I told him 100. You know what he told me? You're more stupid than I thought.
Why would he say that?
he told me the SFP will not get one vote. Now, I say this to say that SFP will not get one vote in Bermuda. But yet still they're in line to govern the country in St. Lucia. Are we backward? My sister, I have a sister in Barbados. And she is in the church. She's not into politics. But she realized I was giving the SFP. And one day she asked me why I was giving the SFP. And I told her the things the SFP done. She turned to our mother. Our mother is St. Lucia.
Alright. Happy Mother's Day to her.
She said, Mommy, what's wrong with your people in St. Lucia? Why they so dumb, backward, and stupid? And then she turned around and said, and if Kelly was in Barbados, he lasted a day. He lasted a day. We always started from mediocre. We have the best leader in the Caribbean. A man has to lead for the fun and set examples.
We do.
Those are the kind of politicians we want.
Yep.
Those are the kind of politicians we want. Another thing, all the criminals in St. Lucia, they joined the SFP.
Wow,
All the criminal
not
acts
sure.
take place on the SFP side.
I'm not sure about that, Mr. St. Lucia,
All the criminal
because
acts take place on the SFP side.
we have no proof of
All
that,
the
sir.
criminal
I think we're stretching it right there if you say that, because that's
All
not...
the criminal acts take place on the SFP side. Instead of point to show me one UWP member that
No, well, certainly I'm not saying that they are part of the UWP administration either, but I'm just pointing to the fact that we have no proof of what you're saying there.
I am saying to you, can be proof. Can be proof. Joachim Henry is proof. What more proof you want? Unless you let commit treason, that's treason. Can he commit atrocity? And Joachim Henry is a terrorist.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. How are you? Mr. St. Lucia, is it right?
Oh, yeah, Mr. St. Lucia.
Hi.
Right.
I must compliment you for always calling this show, and we appreciate your contribution. But at present, we're a bit pressed for time. So we must again thank you for calling, and we look forward to hearing from you on next week's program.
You guys better like babies, man. Get those guys on your house. Those guys should be on the ballot.
Thank you for calling, sir. Indeed.
Bye-bye.
All righty, bye-bye.
Thanks. I am very, very genteel. So I try, in my occupation, in my former occupation, we used to be very, very accommodating. So I am very accommodating as well. And as a politician, you need to be accommodating, as well. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Yeah, Mr. Member, good afternoon.
Hi.
I'm calling
Good day,
again because what's really troubling me is that the Saturday worship at the Forestier Church. In my opinion, that was disturbing for the Adventist Church to be having the Sabbath. And the Honorable Guy Joseph, which I don't want to bring the politics in it, but at the time it was the Honorable Guy Joseph on the altar preaching.
Yeah.
And Mr. Joachim Henry actually stormed the building.
Yeah.
Okay, or the church, whatever you want to call it. Wherever you worship, you have to bring this place respect.
That is true. That is
now,
true.
in my opinion, I go in to condemn that act. The reason for that, you have worshippers in this place. And if Mr. Joachim, if you look at the video and the comments he made about Mr. Joseph going, that was not the place for that. I am simply saying Mr. Joseph is not his friend, but Mr. Joseph is his brother. Okay?
All right.
Because they are Adventists together.
Yeah.
He could simply make a WhatsApp call or message the man and said, well, this is XYZ. I want to clarify it, but today is Sabbath. Can I come to your house or could you come to my house? Because I am saying this is his brother. But what really transpired there, man, this thing went out of control.
It did. No doubt.
And yes, he did apologize, but the leader of the opposition went on Andre Paul's program. And we all know what he was said. And in my opinion, He needs to apologize to the Seventh-day Church, because the Seventh-day Church are all over the world. There are Christians all over the world. Okay? And this is not a good response by the opposition and political leader going on Andre Paul and making certain comments. Because I understand those people are not that, and I agree. I don't care which church. And I still find the Christian council, the churches, never come out and condemn that.
That's true.
And we need to stop it. And I am saying that the reason for that, I recall the DSH project in DuPont before it started, the demonstration. There were one priest, I would not mention his name, and we all know it was political. And they need to stop it. Right now we're in an election season. And if you realize where the St. Lucia Labour Party going with that, it already starts the sitting of the House. You know, with look at the comments trying to make people sin against the police, the drugs.
That's correct. Yes. They do that kind of psychological thing
where do we go from
where they're stalking and goading.
This country.
Yes, sir.
In my opinion, they have no plan, they are failures, and I'm calling on the young people.
That's right.
And the people of St. Lucia, when the time comes, vote out the St. Lucia Labour Party.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Have a good afternoon to you, and you're so right. In fact, you know, he mentioned the Christian Council didn't come up and say anything. I don't think I read any official statements from them, but certainly my pastor condemned it. You know, he did condemn it at our local church service. So I imagine that other churches might have done the same thing as well. And Mr. Cauldron, good afternoon to you from Joe Biden's, Delaware. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Mr. London. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for calling.
And good afternoon, Good afternoon, Diane. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
All right. I'm listening to the program. Very education as usual.
Thank you, sir.
What I wanted to comment about is the state of emergency. I have come to the importance of the government in the state of the but I want to explain, in order for the government to have a way of implementing the curfew, is that we must have the state of emergency. The state of emergency so that we can enforce the curfew. And the curfew is infringing or preventing persons from living their normal lives. I mean, we have the notions 4 p.m. window with groceries. They can do the purpose of the state of emergency is to protect St. Lucian.
That's
because
correct.
Mr. London, we all of us will appreciate that COVID-19 is still with us. The pandemic is what's happening in India and all over the world. Right now, as we speak, to us, not too far from us, Trinidad and Tobago is a serious lockdown. I think the only established open now is our supermarket. Everything is under lockdown. So right here in St. Lucia, I mean...
Let me ask the call on the line to hold. Go on, sir.
From the latest figures that I heard, we had 70-something deaths.
Yes, correct.
One life lost, is too much. But we have to give this government credit for the way they manage the
And you get the bell, sir? Yep.
I mean, all over the world, in Trinidad, you have over 1,000 cases. It's terrible. And this government has managed this pandemic brilliantly.
Yes, well, the opposition leader in the lower house said during the sitting of the house that it's appalling that St. Lucia in the OECS has more people combined who have died, and that we have more cases of coronavirus than even Barbados. Now that comparison, I'm just tired of hearing us being compared to Barbados and so on. Our comparison should never be to Barbados or Trinidad and so on. You know, we should have a different measure of comparing our island, because as you said, caller, what goes on in Trinidad at this time there is severe compared to what's happening here. You and I can still go to the supermarket and buy our wine and go home and put on our CD and play our music and have a party at our homes if we please to do so. You know, with our own families. The government have never said to you, don't do that. You and I can go from north to south. Well, you in the US, so you can't do that. But I and Diane and the rest of us who are on the island of St. Lucia can move freely from north to south, east to west, and any cardinal point in between from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day of the week. You know, we have free access.
What just to add on to what you just said, and you're so correct. The fact is, I don't like for the opposition, the Labour Party, love to compare St. Lucia to country.
Yes, indeed.
When it's convenient
to them,
but when it's not convenient for them, they don't do comparisons.
Indeed.
The next thing is as to said, I mean, the pandemic is a killer, and the fact is, this government protects us, to protect St. Lucia, to protect life. It's not about wanting to pin us down and we wanting to prevent us from moving around or freedom.
But here's my question, Mr. Cauldron. Here's my question to all those who are listening. Do you think that the Prime Minister is the one to go to every single household and ensures that every single St. Lucian is wearing a mask? Do you think that he will be able to stand by every supermarket and make sure people are standing socially distanced? Do you think he can do that at the banks and the credit unions? Do you think he could do that on every bus, you know, at every school? It's impossible. That is why the Ministry of Health is putting out those protocols. That is why this is being said on social media, in the news, and all about the place. You know, it cannot be that the Prime Minister is the one to be blamed. If St. Lucians, I think I lost Mr. Cauldron. No, it cannot be. It's St. Lucians, the Prime Minister, I'm sorry, that has to be blamed if St. Lucians refuse to observe the protocols, if they refuse to stay away from the large gatherings and the beach parties and the blockoramas and so on and so forth, if they refuse to enter the ports of these islands legally, it cannot be the Prime Minister to be blamed. You know, and so this is what the Labour Party is saying to the people of St. Lucia. Blame the PM for all of this, for the deaths and so on. And one thing I notice as well, Mr. Cauldron, is most of the people who are dying, and one death, as you said, is too many. Most of the people who are dying are men. And guess what? I think I said that on the show before. It's because of underlying reasons where men do not go to visit their doctors as often as women do. So once COVID hit them, then it is a foregone conclusion because of all kinds of other ailments and high blood pressure, diabetes, hypertension, you know, and all of those ailments. So
I agree.
It cannot be the Prime Minister to be holding, you know, the spoon to your mouth to feed you. You have to take responsibilities.
Exactly, and I, in the interest of time, I know you ended your show. I just want to say this, and you hit the nail on the head. We all have a responsibility,
no doubt,
to follow the protocols, maintain our social distancing, wear our mask, sanitize our hands. That's the only way we will fight this pandemic. And what the government is doing now is to protect us. And based on that, what we're seeing with the numbers and the recoveries and stuff, this government, and I repeat it, has done a brilliant, marvelous. And just on that premise alone, this government ought to be re-elected and should be re-elected when the general elections is called.
Well said, sir.
So keep up the good work, my brother. Very good show.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk later.
All right, you take care of yourself and have a good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Mr. London.
Yes, sir.
And your guest.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let me just say that I'm so disappointed in the turnout of persons taking the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Labour Party now to be saying why a state of emergency or continuation of the state of emergency.
Exactly.
They should have gone out and start pushing their supporters to take the COVID
exactly.
vaccine so that we would come back to a period of normalcy a lot quicker than we will if persons don't take it.
You are right, sir.
The other situation I'm asking, supposing we go to an election, next week is election, Labour Party wins the election.
Mm-hmm.
They already have a foundation by which the government has already implemented a state
Right.
of emergency.
Well said.
They will continue to work with
Well said.
understanding for what the COVID is doing to us.
I doubt they'll accept that foundation because they'll squash it and then
They will
begin from
break
scratch.
down the foundation and try
So
to build
therefore, you'll see a great spike, and maybe half of this island is going to.
Well, what they need to do now, come on record and tell the general public that as soon as they win the election, they will move the state of emergency and then we'll continue as normal. They need to come on record and say that.
Yeah, well said, sir. Well said. Thank you for your call.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Wow, that is beautifully said. Indeed, because it's just a bunch of people who are not thinking before they talk. The fact that they have a microphone and cameras are surrounding them, people are listening to them, then they think they can say anything, and St. Lucians are gullible, they will drink the Kool-Aid. But no, St. Lucians is smarter than that, Labour Party. That is why once again they elected the United Workers' Party in office in 2016, and they'll do that again in 2021. That is why the people of Beaufort North are looking forward to get to Parliament, somebody to represent them that will finally plead on their behalf and look at their cause and fix the roads that need to be fixed, the roads that have been neglected forever. And whatever concrete roads that are started and are incomplete will be completed. That is why the United Workers' Party is putting people to jobs, is creating employment, and that is why the young people of this country will vote the United Workers' Party in office. Regardless of the constituency, the United Workers' Party will be voted in office. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes, I'm calling again.
Yes, sir.
Because I did not make my point. And I gave a warning that if you do not answer the call, I would go up for politics.
All right, you can, sir. It's your democratic right to do so. But we're about to end the show. It's 5 minutes after 4 already. And I promise that we will be here next Sunday.
What was your number?
727-43-73. Set toi. 92.
Thank you very much.
92 says, yeah. 727-43-73. All right, so thank you very much. And so he could call me and then we can talk on that. It is democratic right, Diana, to go up for elections. Unlike those who think they have the title deed and the parcel, block and parcel number, for example, to Beaufort North, it is his right. It is his right to contest any elections. As a matter of fact, I saw so many flags coming up.
In the Lions Den, you mean in Denver? Yes.
I'm trying to
yes.
be independent
Proudly
candidate.
So.
When I say so many flags, I different yellow, red. I saw blue. I saw green. In Miku North.
In Miku.
Which means
Miku
that
North has an independent candidate.
Maybe two, because I saw is it a green or blue flag with some kind of a bovine, a cow on it as a symbol.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I'm now learning of this.
Yes, I think I saw something like that.
But I must say the Lions Den is well decorated with our flags.
I saw that as well.
Beautifully decorated.
Beaufort North is coming up, man. Beaufort North is coming, and I see flags are beginning to pop up from different points. We're not in a hurry to put our flag.
We had to mark our territory as the Lions Den, as the home of the Lions and the home of the Flubbos. So we had to start off early, because in Dennery, as is known about the Flubbos, we don't have this presence, so to speak. We're present at the ballot boxes. This is where we roar. This is where we make the noise. So we had to start with our flag decorations. So I'm glad that everybody can see. And we have started to get recognition, which we appreciate.
Nice.
It tells us that you're on point.
Well, we're coming up. Before North, the flags, we're not in a hurry, by the way, to put on our flags because we want our flags to be fresh. So those who are wondering where the flags belong,
we need to give you some flag tips.
We'll make an appointment for us to discuss flag tips.
Yes, yes.
But we are as strong as anyone can be in any constituency in Beaufort North. Young people are motivated and excited.
Which is
They're
good.
looking for change in Beaufort North. It is coming. Obicon Pero, your HRDC multipurpose center inclusive of a daycare, it's coming to you. You are the largest polling division in Beaufort North, and yet still you do not have a place to recreate and so on. It's coming. Your multipurpose court is coming. We'll do the same as well down in the Opicon area for the playing field. Fix it, rehabilitate it, whatever you want to call it, but we'll renovate it. And we'll have these motorable pathways for your cars so that you could bring it into your driveways. No more mud and all kinds of 2 pairs of shoes and so on. Nah, man, these things should be a thing of the past. And as I said, those of you who are living on UDC or invest St. Lucia land and so on, it's time for you to get your block and parcel number. So within the medium, short to medium term, with Vincent London as your district rep, we will be working on that. Speaking of working, we are working on a house for a gentleman over in Grace, and we did the first phase of that last weekend. And we're coming, not this weekend, because this weekend is Mother's Day.
Right.
So we're not going to be doing any work on that this weekend, but we will be doing work on it the following weekend. And of course, we're asking if you're in the community, you want to come around, you can drop by and participate. We're having some good food there, I know you missed it last weekend. Good food.
I missed having to get first-hand viewing of workers working.
Yes,
and I also missed the
Plenty
food.
Of workers. And guess what? We had the visit by the group of gentlemen or gentlemen of gentlemen. We had Dr. Secret, they dropped by, brought the champagne, he dropped by, ring the bell, dropped by, Herod dropped by. Yes, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to
but
have
I won't
these
miss
gentlemen
the
as well.
completion
So not
phase.
this weekend, we're saying
the
to people,
following weekend.
Not this weekend, it's the following weekend where we'll have the completion of the house from foundation to finish. And this is what the United Workers' Party is all about.
We are workers.
They never start something that they can't finish.
Indeed.
And St. Lucia, they have started good work for you. They need to finish it. And you will give them the opportunity, the power to do so, to finish the work that has started. Remember the airport terminal, the cruise ship terminal, bridges, highways, byways. And they were saying it's kind of what would this retired engineer used that is cost prohibitive to dig beneath the Badlil. You see, these are people without vision, and so they perish. You know what does the Bible say? People without vision, they perish. And so the Labour Party have no vision. What is it? Why is it impossible to dig beneath the Badlil? According to the retired engineer, somebody said he's an engine far. Engineer. According to him, it'll cost $6 billion thereabout. That is almost 4 or 5 times the national budget of St. Lucia. That's not so. It's not going to cost so much at all. There's preliminary studies going on right now, and so the costings will be made public once that is done. But I look forward to the day when I can drive beneath the Badlil and get across and not have to be concerned about landslides and trees and so on, and passing on the west coast. If I have to do that, I want to be able to do so, but not because the Badlil is closed. It's time for us to get the alternative, and this government is about providing solutions to problems. We don't dwell on the problem, we seek the solution to the problem. And
we work at it.
We work, yes,
because
indeed.
we're workers. And speaking of workers, there's a program that is on to come out. I'm not sure if I've made mention of it. It is called the UWP Working For You, with yours truly, where we go into the different constituencies and you get evidence of how the United Workers' Party continues to work for you, St. Lucia. So this is one to look out for.
Indeed. And as I was just saying to Diana right there, we are interested in the solution and not the problem. And this government is a government of solution. And Vincent London.
This government is a problem solver. Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, a problem solver.
Thank you for that. That means you're paying attention.
Indeed.
and so people. Vincent London is a problem solver.
And so is the United Workers' Party.
So you know, the perennial issues of, hey, I'm in opposition and I only serve one term. This is a thing of the past. That should stop. You know, that's an excuse. You know,
if Estee can do it, you can do it. Estee worked in opposition. You can do it too.
If Harold Stanislas can do it, you can do it too. We could do it too. If the Prime Minister can do it in Miku South, you could do it too. If Dr. Gail Rigobert can do it in Miku North, we could do it too.
And all these people you mentioned,
Dominic,
they have worked whilst in opposition. They worked and they continue to work.
Dominic is transforming the West Coast
significantly.
In 4 years. In 4 years. So we can do it too. Don't let them fool you with the nonsense of them being in opposition, and so it gives them little power to do things. That is a chorus that they've been singing, and you need to come to London and see how it looks. You know,
Vieux-Fort North, you need to leave that man, Vieux-Fort North. Do the right thing.
Indeed.
Follow the example of Dennery South and finally leave that man.
Leave that numb.
C'est ça.
It's time for us to move on to the next level.
Indeed.
And I'm saying to you, St. Lucia, that the time for choosing is now. And you need to choose and choose wisely. And I know the young people are choosing, and they are choosing wisely as well.
Indeed.
So we've come to another beautiful end of a beautiful show on this wonderful Thursday. 14 minutes after 4 p.m. And Diana, what is your most ridiculous item of the day?
Where do I begin with this? The most ridiculous item of the day for me actually happened yesterday. And I alluded to it a little earlier on. It has something to do with being a member of the community and contributing irrespective of your capacity in terms of your status. Having to understand that, okay, you're at a school and you identify a problem and you somewhat became a solution to the problem by your actions, you solve the problem. There is no need to reproach or make an issue out of you having solved the problem. So now I am going to make this announcement that I will be donating some chicken to my alma mater, Denver Primary. So I would like to thank the lady who contributed and who was a problem solver, but chose to be chose to reproach instead of doing the right thing, which is be happy about having contributed. So I must thank her for giving me the opportunity to contribute because of her action. So this is somewhat the most ridiculous thing of yesterday and today for me, because I am very protective over my community. You're not going to have people saying Denver Primary does not have chicken. We will have an overflow of poultry. I promised you that. So this is it for me.
Fantastic. So now you see you have created an opportunity out of a seeming problem.
Indeed. And this is what the workers do. This is what the United Workers' Party does.
That is right. That is right. That is right. You can't go wrong with the United Workers' Party.
Oh, you cannot go wrong.
You cannot.
You cannot go wrong with this man.
Not at all. Not at all. And neither can you go wrong with Vincent London. No. Choosing Vincent London to represent you in Parliament is the right thing and the right way to go. The most ridiculous item of the day for me is my pic when I was sitting in the Senate was taken, and then somebody put it as their profile pic. And you know, very early in the morning, someone called and said to it's a female. So the caller said, you know, you need to remove this profile pic of Vincent London immediately. because people are already saying that you, the two of you have some kind of relationship going and so on. And of course, we have.
You do have a relationship of candidate and supporter.
That is correct.
That's
we
what it
do
is.
have a relationship going.
And what is wrong with candidate and supporter?
Indeed, and this is a person who's working very, very hard on behalf of Vincent London and the United Workers' Party.
She is a worker.
She is indeed a worker. And so, the gutter mentality needs to get off. We need to take it off, Diana. A lot of people have their minds too much in the gutter.
But with the United Workers' Party supporters, we have been able, without issue, to flawlessly move past that kind of morale. We are a cut above the rest.
Indeed.
And with respect to us being in this political realm, myself, as per my experience, this is the dashing experience for me. You can't throw water on me and expect it to stick. It just rolls off. So this is what I think should be your perception of this, and just understanding that people will be people.
Yes.
And you know how to respond, and I'm pretty sure you know how to respond very well to situations as
These
such.
things don't bother me. These little things are just silly, petty, infantile, as you normally describe it. Things that little children would do.
Indeed.
Belle Lesh, according to Invader. Neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture.
Right.
There's a bigger, much.
There is the United Workers' Party picture.
Correct. And so, you cannot worry about little things. We have a country to run. We have a constituency
we have
to
work
win.
to do.
We have work to do. We want to represent the constituency of Beaufort North, and by extension, St. Lucia.
We have a country to
very
develop.
high level, and as a result, we cannot be, looking
distracted.
at little children, babies, stuff like that, and so on. So somebody said that Vincent London is just there to fill his pocket and all kind of thing. And guess where it's coming from? Somebody who lives overseas.
Oh wow!
And so I'm saying, okay,
that should be a non-issue.
I said, who are you paying your tax to, my dear good friend from overseas? It is the United States government, aren't you? So, who am I paying my taxes to? The St. Lucia government. It goes into the coffers of the government of St. Lucia. Why am I paying my taxes to them? Because I need the roads fixed, and the schools and the hospitals, teachers, customer
you
officers,
need the country
police
taken
officers
care
to
of.
be paid indeed. I need civil servants to be paid, so I'm paying my taxes proudly, to St. Lucia. But where are you paying your taxes? The United States. And I said, then you have nothing to tell me about. If my pockets are full, my taxes will be going towards the coffers of the government of St. Lucia, not to the US. So it's up to you that your pockets are not full. Do something to get your pockets full as well.
And he must know that in St. Lucia, especially supporters of the United Workers' Party, we do not necessarily waste time engaging in exchanges. As I said, this is an election of the workers versus the talkers.
That's correct.
We spend our time, as opposed to wasting it talking, we spend our time working.
Constructive stuff, construction, working.
We are workers.
Working. So, St. Lucia, we have to go. We have to say goodbye to you, and that we'll see you next Thursday. At the same time, same place.
Indeed. And do not forget the Flubber Fire Fridays happening tomorrow from 8 p.m.
Yeah. Do you have anyone you wish to wish
to acknowledge?
Happy Mother's Day to?
I would like to wish Happy Mother's Day to myself. I have a few kittens. My sisters
you have cats?
Yes, I have cats.
Lots of cats.
And a dog.
All right.
Yes, so I'm wishing myself Happy Mother's Day.
So you'll have to catch those cats and put it back into the bag for lady in, or you'll have to give her some of your cats then.
Not necessarily, no. But I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom especially, my sisters, my cousins, and all the mothers who I'm close with and those I do not know. Thank you for bringing persons like myself into this world, because we are the blessing that this world needs, especially in a time like this. So thank you and Happy Mother's Day.
And as for me, I wish to wish Queen Elizabeth London, that's my mother, happy Mother's Day. I know you're listening. Hey mom, I can see, you tune in. You're not listening only, but you tune in to GVD TV A happy Mother's Day to you, my beautiful mom. I love you so very much. Thank you for rooting for me and encouraging me. My sisters, all of those who have children, my sisters both here and abroad, a happy Mother's Day to you. My nieces who have children, also happy Mother's Day to you. My aunts, happy Mother's Day. My nenen, happy Mother's Day. Of course, happy Mother's Day to my wife, and for tolerating all the time that I'm out of the house and taking care of our 4 children. Thank you so much. God will bless you forever for that. And all the mothers on St. Lucia throughout the length and breadth, happy Mother's Day to you. Hope that we will be able to speak next week, Thursday. St. Lucia, the choice is clear. United Workers' Party all the way. If you thought not, the choice is clear. United Workers' Party all the way. 22 minutes after 4 p.m. And this is why I say goodbye to you. Bye-bye now.
Find me in a place where I always knew I belong. Open your heart and you'll find me in a paradise we're so blessed to go home. She's just so magical and cynic. She's so bountiful and pure. A light that illuminates your spirit, a gem you can't ignore. Watch the sunrise off your twin peaks. Watch the sunset at your shores. If the ocean's could tell stories, then the waves would sing your song.
Hello, welcome to the program Champagne in the Morning with yours truly, your favorite guy, Champagne. Join me here every morning from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. We're also live on GVD channel 115 and live stream on the internet. Join me as we discuss all of the current events of our beautiful country and around the world. You too could get into the program by calling in 456-0931 or 485-0931. Thank you for tuning in. Join me 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Welcome, listeners and viewers. Join me, your host, Ricky Alexander, every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on your favorite program, Constituency Vibes, on 93.1 FM, Sky FM, and on GDV TV 115. Your program, Constituency Vibes, every Wednesday. Join me.
On behalf of the community of Olemon Grand Riviere Dennery, we would like to say a heartfelt thank you to Senator Ferroponius for the work that she has commenced in our community. As a result of this, we now have access to quality roads and better drainage. We do appreciate it. We look forward to working with you in the future and wish you the best of luck in the next general election.
The government have done excellent. I don't see how they will take out that government from there and put on another government. What are you going to put there for us? We already have, we getting it good. It's already going good for us, and Ms. Fortuna is our representative for our area here. So to me, she have to bring it home. And we have to support her in bringing it home. I want her to bring it home. It's Flower Boy. They have nowhere else to vote again. It's Flower Boy, you have to vote for it. The whole cast is to say it's Flower Boy, it is it. It's Flower Boy you have to vote for.
It is with much thanks and effort that we are here today to make this valuable donation to the fishermen of Ancillary. There are some over 30 boat owners in this community, and fishing, no doubt, is a very, very big part of the livelihood of the people of Ancillary. I want to, on behalf of the government of St. Lucia and myself, I want to donate this to the fishermen of Ancillary, and I am very happy, and I hope that you guys will put this into very good use.
On behalf of the Ancillary Fat Fishers, I would like to say thank you to Mr. Dominic Fede for providing us with a timely donation of the ropes we have here.
I want to say thank you to the minister for donating us that rope for the fad, and that's going to bring a little income during the COVID time, and I want to say thanks a lot again.
If I was Prime Minister,
that now go happen. That will never happen. You will never live to see that happen.
When President Trump lost his son, Joe Biden suspended his campaign.
Hey, that's true.
He suspended his campaign for 2 days when President Trump lost his son.
Oh, you lie! You lie!
I have it on the record. Lost his son.
Robert Trump, President Trump's younger brother, has passed away after an illness.
That's all, folks.
I'm not gonna say bye.
Crossfire, discussing the issues. Norbert Williams, Champagne, Dr. Secret, and Ring the Bell. Thursdays, 8 p.m. on Sky FM and GVD TV. Don't you miss it.
Bienvenue à Sky FM 93.1 et puis Dr. Secret lundi pour vendredi. Ça c'est 4h30 pour 8h au soir. Côté Dr. Sigwe ka encore nous. Côté nous ka discuter qui ça qui ka fait en pays. Nous aussi à sur Facebook et puis channel 115. Ça c'est GVD TV. Join-moi lundi pour vendredi à sur Sky FM 93.1 et puis Dr. Sigwe encore nous.
Hello everyone, I'm Norbert Williams, right here on Sky FM 93.1. Join me Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the morning edition of Keeping It Real. And on Tuesdays and Fridays, Minerva Ward joining me from Canada, right near the North Pole. Although it's cold over there, it's gonna be hot in here. Don't you forget, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on GVD TV and streaming live on Facebook. Don't you miss it.
Bienvenue à sous Sky FM et puis Ring the Bell 93.1. Limo ici là c'est 456093. Moi ici là tous les jeudis, vendredis, samedi 8h jusqu'à 10h soir. Moi aussi à sous GVD TV et puis Facebook Sky FM, matchez ça et puis Blamicol.
Mikudno family. Mamai Mikudno. Tune in to GVD TV 115 and Facebook Live this and every Tuesday for Let's Talk with Auntie Gail, where we will discuss what is happening in our constituency and the progress we have made so far. Anu pale epi Auntie Gail, Tule Madi asu GVD TV channel Yon Seng. Mikudno, we've got this. Let's talk. Nous tous, c'est Yon famille à Mikudno.